Okay.
Okay? The Fates United gather for breakfast to discuss their plans for the day. The door to the inn opens and Lovecraft trudges in, wrapped in several blankets soaked by the rain and accompanied by the howl of the wind outside. Heading straight for the fireplace, Lovecraft pulls several pieces of paper from his pocket and adds them to the flames. "Hey!" Drummond calls to Lovecraft. "Those didn't come from your new book, did they?" Xeric looks around, horrified. Knowledge is power, and to destroy the physical embodiment of knowledge that is the written word would be nothing short of desecration. "Oh no, nothing like that," Lovecraft assures them, coming over and squeezing between Thalia and Drummond at the table. Seeing that Lovecraft has yet to eat, Xeric offers him a magically infused berry secretly seasoned with his new special spice. Without knowing the optimal dosage, Xeric had been forced to conduct his own research into the food-to-spice ratio, relying on his group to help him with his experiment, as he knew they would want to. Soon after, the Fates United are all cloaked and loading the cart. Lovecraft is still trying to get the taste of fish out of his mouth. As they begin down the rain-soaked road, Diane passes a leaf to Leomar, describing the magical boost gained by chewing it. The group soon gets into a discussion about Lovecraft's research into deep-sea creatures. "Think about it, an underwater civilization," Lovecraft says, trying to snuggle up to the lion. "Imagine what we could learn from such creatures." He continued, pulling his hand away before a paw came down on him. "I just think it would be easier to study the ocean if you were, near the ocean," Valeria comments, gesturing around them at the land on all sides. Moonlight and Garshadow suddenly perk up, looking around. The party slows to a stop and decide to investigate what has agitated their animal companions. Lovecraft stands guard with the cart while everyone else trudges into the woods. Soon they discover a circle of standing stones, a fairy's circle in the middle of a clearing. Was this what had drawn the attention of their animals? While investigating the circle, a moan comes from the forest and several zombies approach, each covered in a variety of moss and mushrooms covering their long dead bodies. Valeria, once again, is the first to draw the attention of the Barrowland monsters. Drummond and Xeric both hurry to her aid, though in his rush, Xeric misjudged the aggression of these creatures. Ignoring his grievous wound injury, Xeric sends Moonlight to fetch the professor, then proceeds to produces a stream of fire from his hands. "They can't come back if they are reduced to ash," he says as they begin to burn. The fire seems to have activated one of the stones, but that can be looked into later. It felt great being the heroes rushing to the damsel in distress, but Drummond and Xeric didn't need saving themselves shortly. Valeria presented her holy symbol and several zombies simply disintegrated. Neither Drummond nor Xeric knew what a man in distress was called, but they could work out a word for it later. Leomorn targets an undead and fires his spell. A pulse of energy emanates from the fairy circle, and as it passes Thalia and Lemar and Elise and Drummond are left bare skinned, their clothes seemingly turned to smoke and blown away. Elise is quick to cover herself with her wings while Thalia keeps fighting like nothing happened. But only visible for a few seconds before conjuring temporary clothes, Valeria had seen Drummond for what he was. Red skin, a tail, and she could not help but point and shout out the secret so that everyone could hear. "Drummond's a tiefling!" She exclaimed quickly as if there had been a race to see who could say it first. From complete concealment to total too much enclosure, Drummond had his cool and confident composure. Another of Leomorn's spells triggered the circle to pulse again, and the ground begins to shake. One of the nearby trees tears itself away from the ground and rockets skyward, leaving a trail of dark green smoke as it gains. Elise is bitten by a zombie, and Valeria falls to another. Lovecraft and Moonlight are on their way as Leomorn triggers the circle with another spell. Fruits of all kind begin to appear on the trees. Apples, oranges, cherries, pineapple, and a few weighed down by wind. Elise triggers the circle as Valeria awakens, floating in the air, both now possessing beards to rival that of any dwarf. Garshadow, so strong up till now, found himself biting off more than he could chew, fighting ferociously as only lions can till it becomes too much and he falls to the ground. The zombie coughs out a noxious yellow cloud enveloping Drummond, who points at the creature, demanding it burn for its actions against him, and it erupts into flames. A bolt from Elise's crossbow puts out an eye of one of the zombies aside and desperately tries to save his downed friend with the limited healing he could send through their special. Leomorn sends a spell at Garshadow's aggressor, and the circle creates a statue memorializing the moment. All of Leomorn's naked spellcasting glory and highly detailed, extra-large bronze idol for Thalion watches as Garshadow dies from his wounds. Unable to save his friend, Thalion turns and begins hacking zombies to pieces, roaring like his fallen partner would have during such a mauling of prey. Drummond falls as Lovecraft enters the clearing with a "What the heck happened here? You guys were only gone for like 5 minutes" look about him. Valeria, back on the ground, watches as Leomarn's last circle-triggering spell turns him into a her. Thalion decapitates the final zombie before returning to his friend and begin to mourn. And Drummond is treated for his... Can we all agree to never tell anybody about this particular adventure? So last time on A Brave New World, the Fates United fought and nothing else of importance or... Yeah. And so the adventure continues.
Well done. You started breaking up on my end. But I caught the gist of it, so that was pretty good. Give yourself a point of inspiration.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was that I had too many things open or if you were just breaking up.
I think it's the...
I'm on a hotel internet.
Yeah, his hotel Wi-Fi. Okay, so we drop back now as everyone is just sort of standing in the rain, letting the blood from their wounds kind of wash off, taking a relaxing breath. That was a tough fight. A lot of people were pushed to their limits. But as you guys you see Thalion sort of kneeling down next to Garshadow, who is on his side and not moving. And that's what we'll pick up.
Is everyone quite alright?
You just get a slight glare from Thalion, but then he turns his gaze back to Garshadow.
It seems everyone is not all right, and I will rush over to Thalion, placing my hand on his shoulder as he kneels in front of Garshadow.
Since Serac rushes over to me, he'll hear me I'm talking low, but since you're behind me, it'll be okay, my friend. You will be back.
Is that even possible, Thalion?
Catching sight that you're right behind me, I'll kind of turn and look. It is. Through our bond, I was hoping I wouldn't have to do this. I just hope there's no negative effects from this.
Well, you have my support, my friend. I'm sure with your companion, the loss of your companion, your bond feels painful at the moment. And I suffer with you as I considered Garshadow a friend as well.
I'll kind of lean in to make sure his eyes are closed. I won't stay out for
I would draw the... Did Leomorn turn into a giant statue?
I'm probably gonna walk up a bit. I don't feel so good. I look okay.
And who is this young lady?
Why do I
That
feel
would be
like
Leomorn.
Huh?
Huh?
Mark, what time of the day is it?
It's still afternoon. I mean, you guys are on the road for a day, camped out, woke up, and then kept going. And then you heard this noise on the road. I mean, it was a slow go on the road because they told you guys, or you heard the rumors, that the roads have gotten pretty bad because no one's taken care of them. And your travel with the wagon and the horses up the road has shown that. Large crater-like potholes that are just filling up with water. You don't exactly know how deep they are when you drive through, so it takes you a while, but it's on your second day up, and this was late morning, early afternoon that you guys heard this noise.
Why do I feel lighter than I should? Why do I feel weird? Now I'll start inspecting myself. I'm afraid to look. I'm just gonna just.
Elise just sort of pokes a finger into one of your boobs.
Ah! What was that?
Lemon, you have.
I what?
Aria wraps her cloak over her. That magic stuff. Probably should have listened and not done that magic stuff in the circle.
Well, I do recall the tree, and I'll slowly look down, and you'll see a confused face slowly turn pale in shock.
Stop eating my... Oh my god, my cat was eating my hot dog when I was looking away.
Your cat's eating pot?
No, my hot dog!
You guys start to hear a very odd noise.
I look up and do I see the tree falling?
You guys look and there is a giant pine tree flying through the air. And it is coming down really fast.
I'm going to try and let the car shed. I'm going to try and go closer to the trees.
I'm gonna take cover by the rock.
Yeah, I'm taking cover behind one of the rocks.
All right, Dalian, give me athletics.
I'm having World War II flashbacks.
Okay, you pick him up and you start moving and taking very strong, pronounced steps in that direction, seemingly unhindered by the dead weight of this large animal. And just as you guys are beginning to move and run for cover, you just have this boom, and you watch as a tree just impacts over here, and it's just sending dirt and grass everywhere.
They have fruit on it.
This one sadly does not have fruit.
Yeah, I think it went up before that one went off. So, does anyone want to explain to me what happened when I,
There is something ancient about this area and those stones. Your spells must have reacted. Zurich might know more. Maybe we should mark this location on the map. I do not know how long those effects will last on you guys. I mean, just not noticing the beards.
You know, right? Aren't they amazing?
I mean, they are glistening in the rain.
You have fantastic beard.
Come back.
But
Welcome back.
Challenging mine.
I might need 8 hours if I'm to return Guard Shadow.
Well, I don't think it'd be safe out here.
No, but we should return to the horses and the cart as soon as possible, I think.
Agreed. We can always come investigate this area later.
Or perhaps we could get the horses and cart and bring them here and rest here. Maybe just a few of us can go back and get the animals.
I think if we go back, one or two of us should come back and collect the fresh fruit on the trees as soon as possible. I mean, it's fresh fruit after all. You don't see that every day in the.
I think that's a good idea, Lovecraft. Collecting the fruit on the trees before this magic fades. Perhaps you should take the bite of the first fruit just to make sure it's safe.
I am a bit. I go up to one of just a random tree with some random fruit. I pick one and I take a bite out of it.
Roll a d6.
You think to yourself, I should kill that orange first.
Congratulations, you're deaf again.
I was so hoping Mark would ask for a roll.
2. What does the 2 get me?
Give me a sec.
Blood. It's a heart and it's still pumping.
I'm just joking. No, so you walk up to a plant.
God damn it!
And you see you see that it is a strange green and yellow in color, and it sort of has like a spiral pattern with what seems to be almost like thorn-like leaves crawling out. It's something that you've never seen before, but as you take it off and you put it to your nose, the aroma is mouth-watering. You can almost taste the sweet and sour notes just from the scent, and you move apart some of the thorny leaves and you take a bite, and it is absolutely delicious.
It's safe to eat.
Excellent. Then I suggest that Thalion, you stay here with Garshadow. I don't think that we need to be carrying the body of the lion through the woods. Myself, perhaps Valeria, Elise, and Roman could go back and get the cart and supplies and horses and bring them here. This seems like I chuckle a bit. A fairly safe place to rest for a while, as long as we are careful not to use magic within the Fey Circle.
Okay.
Exactly. Maybe we can harvest some fruits and make rations.
We'll need to peel the fruit.
Hopefully.
Peculiar one.
Can,
Mark, is this based off a real fruit or just a fantasy fruit you're just coming up with?
This one is a fantasy fruit.
Okay.
could I like go to like one of the mold zombies if it hasn't dissolved and get a better look at what this thing might have had?
Give me a second. Okay, so you go up to one of the moldy bastards. What would you like to do?
Well, since most of my equipment's on the cart, I first, I guess I just want to see at the moment, just on observation, what it might have had, or like if there's any fungus or anything in particular that sticks out.
I mean, you see that there are literal mushrooms that seem to be fused with his current flesh, and you're looking at what seem to be black spore caps that, although he is dead, you see that even right now they're seemingly kind of pulsating slowly.
Interesting. I would take a sample if I didn't have my supplies. Does any of these look like as if it could be like volatile if anyone tried to touch it?
I don't know. Give me an intelligence check. .13's like right in the middle. You're thinking that if you handle it properly, you might be able to take a sample.
Alright, I will definitely keep that in mind, because I don't have my supplies on me. So I'll look over at Valeria and yell out, Make sure no one touches any of these mold creatures until we can get the proper supplies.
They just need to be burned.
Alright. Well, I'm heading back to the cart.
Okay, so your guys' plan is to go get the cart and then try to bring the cart through the woods to...
That's what Derek wants to do.
Was there? You guys are actually. Since we traveled through here, was there even a? There was a good enough room to get that cart through here?
Definitely not large enough for a cart. I mean, you guys were squeezing through trees and going through brambles. The only reason you guys made it here so quick was because you were showing them where to walk with your favorite terrain.
So we'll go back to the cart, grab some like empty sacks or whatever, and collect as much fruit as we can, and then head back.
Yeah, grab the things we need to collect, whatever we need from this area, and then bring it all back. That sounds like a good plan to me.
Okay, so you guys do this at a good sprint, or...
Well, now you can only go so far carrying.
It took you guys 15 to 20 minutes walking through the trees to get here.
Is the statue still there when we get back? Like part of it?
The statue is disappearing as you guys are sitting here with the driving.
Can I go? I want to go up to and see if, since it's not bronze, can I maybe try to discern what it's made out of?
As you walk up to this statue, all the bronze in it is gone. And you see that it's about half melted from the time that you guys have been kind of standing here, and you can see that it keeps melting, and you sort of put your finger on it, and you put it to your mouth, you see it's salt.
I was honestly about to say, I was about to lick it. And
I know, you taste everything, so I thought I'd cut to the chase.
I was just gonna go big ol' I lick it. And I say, bring one of the sacks over here. This statue is made out of salt. We can salt is.
Who's running back to the car?
Well, Valiant is only going to make the one trip, so he's going to the cart. Carrying Garshell, so not at a fast pace.
Okay, so I'll say that Zirak and Valeria are going at a pretty fast pace. you guys half the time. Now not being careful and kind of following the rutted path through the area you guys went through, and it's easy enough to see like the broken and snapped branches and the disturbed ground that your party made through there. And you sort of get back and you go and you see that the wagon is still there, the horses are still there. They're a little unhappy standing out in the rain, not really with any cover, not doing anything, but for the most part, everything's there.
I will comfort Ophelia as best I can as I mount her and grab the reins for the cart horses.
You go to like pet her, and then you see that she's sort of like irritably like nips at your forearm with her teeth, telling you that she's not very happy.
I pet her anyway and say I'm sorry. As a matter of fact, I will pull a berry out of my pouch and feed the horse one of my good berries.
She nuzzles you lovingly after that. Valeria, you go to get Troy's reins.
Yes.
And you see that as you sort of reach for him, he's sort of turning his head away, and he's like turning his body, so his back end is like pushing you a little bit. So you can see that he's a little bit irritated as well.
Don't be that way.
And he just kind of stamps at the ground before eventually stopping.
Come on.
Okay, you guys grab some. Did you guys say you grab some sacks or a bag? Okay, we'll say you guys grab a couple sacks. You guys get back onto the horses, and you ride through, making it through the thicket now in no time whatsoever. Coming back on the other side, you can see that the fruit closest to where Leomorn was when he cast the spell, they're all starting to drop from the trees very slowly and starting to rot on the ground.
Oh, man.
But that's on the south side of the glade. Where you guys came in and looked, you guys still see that there are trees with fruit still to be picked.
These aren't going to last very long.
So why don't you guys give me a survival check?
Okay.
Except for whoever was picking the fruit.
Whoever's picking the fruit, and then I guess for Lovecraft, because he's trying to salvage wet salt.
I was gonna ask, how is he trying to save the salt? Where is he putting it in?
Oh, it's very good. I mean,
You're not trying to like cartoon shove it in your mouth like a hamster, are you?
Loco, I have 2 fingers in my mouth. No.
Zarak, go ahead and roll a survival for me too, please.
I grew up in the sea. I love salt.
Okay, so 14.
Does it taste like
I
sea
have a
salt or like mineral
14,
salt?
13. It just tastes like salt.
Well, there is a difference.
You don't know. It just tastes like salt. You're a professor of linguistics, not an alchemist or chemist, so you think it's salt.
Oh, I think it's salt? Oh, okay, then I'm at the...
I'm probably gonna go to the statue in the area that he's not occupying and see if I just can't get like a small bit of it in my hand.
Drummond, you managed to get 29 pieces of fruit. And then Valyria and Zarak. You each managed to get 16 pieces of fruit.
Okay.
And I'll let you guys choose whatever fruit it was from the 6 I listed. Professor, you managed to get a couple dry lumps of the salt from underneath, but a lot of it is sort of has that slime from just getting water mixed with it a little bit. You're trying your best to kind of keep it covered, but it's raining pretty good.
Once the water evaporates, we'll still have salt.
I was gonna see if I could
So,
say like
Mark, would it be feasible that, knowing what I know about how to dry fish, that I might be able to use the same type of process to cut up and dry some of this fruit? Since dehydrating fruit takes about 10 to 12 hours, if we're going to full rest, I would like to string up some of the saved fruit and make dried fruit rations.
Are you going to try to smoke the fruit with fire smoke, or are you
No,
gonna apply some
I'm
sort
gonna
of heat?
hang it and dry it, like dehydrate it, make it not have water in it.
Okay. It might be a little bit hard here in this very humid, moist condition you're in with the rain. But you could probably apply the same techniques to the fish smoking. You just
Okay,
know
so-
that you're gonna have to control the environment a lot more than you do with fish.
Yeah, so I might use one of the tents as a tarp, hanging it up to provide shelter for the fruit, and then hang the fruit under that tent and try to dry some of it. Even if I only get a few days worth of dried fruit, I think that's fine. I'm gonna spend my my full rest doing that as well as studying my new spells. So.
Okay, so you guys are camping here in the fairy circle.
About the horses? Are we just gonna leave the horses in the cart?
Ophelia and Troy are here. The cart and the 2 draft horses are on the road. Thalion, however, has carried Garshadow all the way over to the west.
Yeah, I think I misunderstood when I realized the car wasn't there. I probably would, if we are gonna camp right here, then I probably just would have went back for our 2 draft horses, just to make sure somebody doesn't take them from the car.
I'd be heading back to the cart if we had to. It's between the cart and
I can set an alarm around the cart before we leave, or I can go back and do that if I'm already here, so that we can bring the horses to us, and if we have to leave the cart somewhere, we can hide it under the brush, and I can alarm it if you guys want.
Derek, how long does your alarm spell last?
8 hours.
Well, you already set it, right?
No, I can go back, like, at dusk, and set the alarm, and then come back here, if you guys want.
Well, I remember
That's-
last session you set it before you left, so you're gonna once the time is up, you're gonna.
I would just reset it. There's no concentration, and there's no limit to how many of them I can cast. I can just cast 20 alarms if I want. It doesn't matter. If I do it as a ritual, it just takes 11 minutes. So every 20-foot square is 11 minutes of casting. Not to mention, each time I cast it, it recharges my ward. So I'm welcome to cast it over and over and over again if you guys like.
So if we're doing that, then after we bring the draft horses and tie them down to a tree, Valiant is going to position Garshadow and kind of start placing out particular herbs he has in his pack. Then kind of set my glaive down and kind of kneel before Garshadow and kind of start doing a ritual that no one has probably seen before.
Okay,
I
so
am
mark
intensely
off,
interested in this ritual and would like to observe.
mark off the 25 gold point on your sheet, on your herbalism.
It has been marked.
So Xerak, you watch as Thalion just sort of kneels on the ground, and he begins to utter words in Elvish. Do you speak? Okay. But the funny thing that you're picking up is it's not the sort of common ground Elvish that everyone sort of uses with each other. this has a very strong dialect, and he's pronouncing some of the words differently from others, and you can probably expect that this is his people's form of Elvish from the Amaranth Wood. And the longer you sit, over the course of 8 hours, he does this ritual over Garshadow, and the words that you can pick up are just him calling out to his spirits, asking him to come back and fight beside him again, trying to draw the spirit of the animal back. Yeah, I'll say that you guys have camp set up, fire, you guys have brought the tents over. There's 3 tents, or 4 tents, but one of them, I don't know if you're storing the fruit in that one right now, but the ritual gets over at about 10 o'clock at night. And you guys watch as Garshadow begins to breathe, yawns, and slowly begins to roll over and look extremely tired and weary, but the lion is moving.
Seeing him move and realizing that the ritual I probably learned from that book worked. And then I kind of just go to hugging Garshadow.
You guys...
Shadow, do I notice anything different?
Nope.
Can you do that to anybody, or just your friend there?
Just our shadow. We have a spiritual and a blood bond.
Ah, I see.
That's
Fascinating.
why I can only heal his wounds. I cannot heal others, unfortunately.
Yeah, I forgot.
Alright, well. You guys awaken in the morning. Well, let me check chat to make sure nobody wanted to do anything. Okay. You guys wake up into the morning. The rain is still there, but you hear what sounds to be the distant cracks of thunder. Yes. Now, was there anything you guys wanted to keep doing at that Fey Circle, or were you guys leaving?
During our rest, I would probably take notes about it, scribble the, draw and in my journal about some of the runes.
In your tent? Okay. Easy enough.
I would just...
I mean, it wasn't a very comfortable night. I mean, you guys were sleeping like 3 people per tent. Because usually the people that sleep in the wagon didn't have the wagon.
Elise always sleeps in the wagon. She guards her stuff and the wagon stuff.
I would just make a mental note of this location.
So if anybody was sharing a tent with me, you hear me mumble and toss and turn in my sleep. I'm having a nightmare, almost.
Guess we should find out who was in whose tent.
It's gonna be a tight squeeze for whoever it is.
I'll say Leomorn and Elise, you guys are sharing a tent with the professor.
I was in Valeria's tent because
I already said I was in the cart.
because
cart's not
I
there.
agreed to teach the girls how to shave their beards off.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I will be a good boy, of course. But I when we wake up, I would show them how to shave.
Plus, hence the reason why Elise said she was sleeping in the cart. She always sleeps in the cart.
But the cart's like
Like, we
Pretty
don't
far
have
away.
the cart.
You guys don't have the cart where you were, Elise.
Alrighty.
Figured all the girls would have shared a tent because
I'm still adjusting to this, thank you very much.
You know, Leomorn, I can
You're
teach
gonna teach
Well, you
us how
already
to be
know
a
how to
boy,
shave.
and we'll teach you how to be a girl.
sure it's not permanent.
I hope not. This all feels so weird.
You should have your clothes
Don't
back.
worry, Lemon, we'll teach you how to be girl. Just slaps his back. You'll be just fine.
What do we roll for that? That'd be fun.
So if
Yeah,
I'm in a
that-
tent alone with Gar's shadow, I might be trying to go over an old book I always carried on me, trying to see how many times the person in that book used that ritual himself.
You're imagining that as you're reading over this book again and you're looking at it, and you can see that it's a heroic telling of his life and his adventures. And you've never actually heard or read any portions in that book about his lion ever dying, even him being fatally wounded or even hurt.
Now, Electrana's words are ringing in the back of Val's head.
also through before we left and whatnot through the night, I do turn all the zombies' heads west.
So whose tent were you in, Professor?
As far as I know, I'm in my own tent.
Are you loud
Well, how
enough
many
that
tents do we have?
overhear you?
You guys had 4 tents.
Yeah, I know Droman bought one. I bought one. I don't know who had the.
Serac has a tent.
Drugs,
And
I-
the extra one for whoever.
So there's 4 tents. Elise always made it a point that she was sleeping in the cart, although this time the cart was not available.
So I guess that extra one I bought, the girls could all be in it. Well, in female Leomund.
So who was taking between Xerac and Drummond? Because Thalion and Garshadow take up a whole tent. The 3 ladies fill up 1 tent.
I figured Eric had his own tent because he has all the fruit on one side and he's drying it.
So Drummond,
One of
It
the
looks
tents
like-
is just used as a canvas, a tarp. So we only have 3 tents, I think.
Okay, so it's going to be a tight fit.
God.
I'm going to let you guys work that out in chat, but you guys hear the professor mumbling and kind of writhing in his sleep, whoever's in there, and it makes for quite an uncomfortable. You guys lead the horses back through the woods, get back to the cart. The cart seems unhindered and untouched. You guys look about and you notice that there are no other travelers that you've come across or seen on this road from Valkenburg to Durnan.
Mark, I would like to make a note on my map that I purchased. Approximately where this face circle is on
Okay.
my personal map.
Okay, if you guys look at the map you guys are on here, then you guys can see where the phase circle is, and that's always going to be there. So when we need
Excellent.
it for reference, it's there.
Okay, so after I resaddle the horses up to the cart and everything, once everyone's ready, we'll continue our walk to Durnan.
Okay, so now that we're there, just know that Garshadow, even though you can't pick up the hints of it, he does seem very tired and drained. He does have resurrection sickness. So he has, what was it, a -4 to everything?
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, I know. I'm familiar with it. It's -4 because that happened to Zirak. It's -4, and it goes down by 1 with each full rest you complete. So for 4
And
days.
that's -4 to attack rolls, saving throws, ability check.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. You guys pick up early in the morning now, 2 days into the journey north. The slow go gets you to here
Wait.
before you guys camp again for the night. Other than the rain and the constant thunder, nothing really stands out. Nothing grabs your attention. Those of you on watch always feel uneasy. It always feels like somebody's watching. Sticks breaking. You gather up your things, and at about sunset, you guys arrive 4 days to the city of Durnan, or the small village of Durnan, here at the crossroads. It's a pretty meager town. There's what only can be described as a pitiful wooden palisade. Thalion, you've been here before. The town looks much the same as it ever has. Full of mud, full of miserable people, lots of sheep. But for the most part, it seems life here is kind of hasn't changed very much in the time that you've been gone.
I'm starting to wonder why I had ideas of coming back here after being from Hana for so long. Just-
We are all wondering the same.
This was all I knew for a good year, and with the connections I made. But the mood never fully hit me before until now.
Well, perhaps where we go, we could bring a little bit of happiness to the people.
We'd have to probably exercise this whole land of graveyards to that.
Good thing we brought a cleric.
And you guys have noticed that even in Valkenburg, the sidelong kind of glares, and just like the stares that you receive from people, you don't know why, but everybody feels like they're looking at you like you're not welcome. You guys remember who was it that found it? I think it was Lamorn who found the warning poster saying that all adventurers will be held to their crimes in Valkenburg. And you're starting to notice that if people don't know Thalion, like, they really don't care for you guys.
It's like that first episode of Game of Thrones where everybody's just staring at the foreigners marching in.
And it only kind of adds to this oppressive feeling of this place. Like, these are very superstitious people, and they're looking at these interlopers coming into their village. What would you guys like to do?
Do I remember a tavern or anything in this small village, or was it too small to something like that?
This one doesn't have like a tavern per se. And you remember that there are homes where people congregate in, that have tied on to like larger barns, where people host people coming out of the weather. And
I would lead us to one of those if I can spot one out.
okay. I mean, you do find places with barns. You see that there are people congregating as it's getting close to the time where people are just kind of getting together for some human interaction, some drinks, and some food. I'll say that yes, zero. You know what? Valyria and Elise, give me dexterity checks.
Oh no, I'm terrible at those.
You got this. You got this.
Bullshit.
Be one with the blade.
Great dex or a saving throw? Okay.
Dexterity check.
Okay.
Whoops.
Mark,
So
did they
we're-
get any kind of benefit for me helping them at all, or just that's why they get the check?
Yes, it lowered the DC. So even with Elise's, I think that's an 11. Are you proficient in dexterity saves as a bard?
Yeah, I have a 4, a +4 in it.
That's a 10.
Okay, so sadly,
Well, I don't know.
what's your dexterity score?
My dex is a 13.
Okay, so you have a +1. So you have that'd be an 11. Okay. So you did pass. Although you were a lot shakier
Yep.
than Valyria was, trying to shave with this cold iron dagger. You guys managed to get
It's the
the
dagger
hair
that
out.
freaked her out. She's like, oh god, I've never had one of these so close to my face.
You guys managed to get all the hair out, get a nice smooth shave. Although now, as you guys are getting into town here, you're noticing that there is a nice, rough stubble starting to come in.
Yes.
Well, it looks nice at least.
It's okay. I got
There's a-
this self and makeup. So.
There's a moment where you guys approach one of these communal hovels, and everything just sort of stops. Everybody's just kind of quiet. Everybody's just kind of looking at you guys before they go back to their drinks, and their conversations hush a little bit more. And they're a lot quieter than they were.
I jump off the the car, leaving the car show. They're the rest, and I'll walk up to the area where the people are at. Excuse me. It's been some time since I've been here. Do any of you happen to know a woman named Sibylla?
You see an older gentleman, very weather-worn face, lots of smiling wrinkles around his eyes. He sort of pops up. He's like, the animal's speaking.
Yes.
Haven't seen her for quite some time, but we do know of her, yes. She helped old Marl there, and he sort of points to a stockier individual. Helped him out when his bull was lame.
She was always very helpful with animals. I've been away for a bit and got word that something may have happened. She's a girlfriend of mine, and I'm trying to locate her. How long ago did you last see her?
Haven't seen her now for over a month. Then you see him sort of speaking to some other people at his table, and he nods. Yep, haven't seen her for... A month, you know that the summer month of Ashish itself is 50 days long. So they haven't seen her in quite some time.
Okay, so Dalian kind of begins to shake a little bit. Where was the last area you did see her?
In town, where we are. I thought you said you've been here before.
Well, I also got word that she might have been by Casper's Ferry, but I'm trying to follow leads.
You'll never catch us traveling that far north, I'll tell you that. Too many people going missing up there.
That's what I'm afraid of.
And you see that he kind of just turns back to his companions now and just begins to sip and nurse his mug as he sort of just kind of speaks.
Perhaps they go missing because up north is a little bit more cheerful than it is here.
And they just continue their conversation. What do you guys want to do?
I will head back to the cart. So this place doesn't really have a tavern or anywhere to stay.
There's no inns, nothing like that. Like these are a group of people that have came together and formed a very rough, harsh settlement. Like I said, it's a wooden palisade wall. Like you can imagine that, like the early settlers of America.
So it's like a fort.
This is probably how they lived. There's maybe a population base in here of like 300 people, but you know personally that this is just one of the larger settlements, along with Hackfurt, Casper's Ferry, Niederhelm, Barlow, and that scattered all throughout the woods are even more desperate people trying to cut out a living, and those are the smaller hamlets. Maybe 20, 30 people, 8, 9 families. And you know that the lists of names that you took down off the wall of don't bother going here, the people are gone, a lot of those names were the smaller hamlets scattered throughout the woods.
So I would probably suggest that we find a corner that's not being occupied to camp down, and maybe just use that time for the reprieve on the road while listening into anything we might overhear. Any rumors or whatnot that might aid us.
if we're camping down, somebody else is gonna take Lovecraft. I can't.
The cart for us this time. And why does he snore?
He talks in his sleep, but he talks in a language you don't understand. So it's really.
Does he switch between the many different languages he knows that he always mentions?
Yeah, it's almost like he's talking to himself. He'll, like, talk like Elvish, and then he'll switch to like Dwarvish, and then he'll switch back to Elvish. And I don't understand, so it's like he's talking to himself, and I'm just like, what? And he's like, oh, I wasn't saying.
I would like to spend the night with the professor. Only so that maybe if he falls asleep first, I would like to try and make any sense of what it is he might be talking about in his sleep.
Okay, you guys do find a landowner inside the settlement that's willing to let you guys sort of camp out in the ground here. He does charge you guys just 1 gold piece. But for the most part, you guys look and you start setting up your tents and you try to get a fire going, and you just realize this is miserable. The rain's not stopping. You guys feel like you've been wet for 2 months. It's cold, it's muddy, the blankets are getting mud on them. This place is terrible.
Trying to keep stuff clean with my prestidigitation.
Inside the wagon's not so bad. There's just a little bit of chill, but even the tarp is starting to get soaked and rained through, as oiled and as good as it is. You're starting to see the condensation on the inside kind of build up and run down. But it's Thalion, you remember that this is exactly how the weather was out here. The weather is unpredictable, the weather's terrible. It switches from cold rain to balmy humidity, and you can't figure.
Well, at least if we ever need a drink of water, we just literally look up and open our mouths.
You know, I'm very half tempted to try and convince Sibylla will find her rose, maybe, though I doubt she'd listen, to come more towards Al-Anon instead.
You guys try to eat whatever warm food you can manage to make on the sort of sputtering fire. Even with a sort of tarp rain break that you guys have made over it with the wagon, it's still tough. This is a miserable trip. But you guys do manage to sleep somewhat easily, knowing that you're behind this wooden palisade. And the morning comes and the rain is a little bit lighter, though the thunder proceeds.
I'll probably get up a little bit earlier than everyone else and kind of just walk around during and seeing if I overhear anything.
Make an insight check. You kind of notice that as you kind of walk around that people are generally avoiding you. When you get too close to people talking, you see that they kind of look up and then they sort of look away. And it's hard for you to pick up any sort of sound from conversation.
Mark, if I see somebody gossiping or talking, I would like to have Moonlight perch near them and listen in while I
Perfect.
listen through.
Perfect. Brilliant! So you're kind of keeping watch, and you watch as Thalion kind of moves towards a couple people. And you notice that as he comes up, they sort of turn their shoulders together a little bit. And they just sort of, like, almost unnaturally, like, stiff. Until they hear Thalion start to walk away, then they kind of turn around and then they begin to talk again. So you send Moonlight over, and he kind of perches on the roof below. And they have no notice of him because their passive perception is terrible and Moonlight's really good. You hear the general conversation of, I can't believe there's more and more of these people coming up here. All they do is stir up trouble. It's like, did you hear what they did down in Valkenburg of all places? If they can tear up a place like that, what do you think they're going to do to our home? I know, you know, and it's just like this general gossip that they're speaking about. And it seems to be very, almost anti-adventurer when you kind of get the gist of it. And they're talking about all these groups that aren't a part of the mercenary companies that they knew that have been kind of going through towns, stealing, breaking things, causing a ruckus, and then kind of moving on without having to pay for the damages or pay for their crimes. You start to pick up more and more of the rumors again of them talking about certain hamlets that are disappearing and they're losing people. They talk about a trader that came down and said that he went to deliver some goods to a town, but when he was there weren't even any fires going and everybody was just gone.
Do I hear anything specifically about the person that Thalion is looking for? That maybe it's a she, I think, was part of one of these adventuring parties?
You haven't heard anything, or you haven't heard a name mentioned, Sibylla. You're thinking that these two sort of home wives that are just kind of out in the elements, just kind of gossiping away before they have to go home and do whatever it is they have to do, they're sort of talking in generalizations. Go ahead, Ken, and roll me a d20. You sly dog, you.
Wizards make the best spies.
You catch a juicy little tidbit. You hear them speaking. She's like, oh, I heard something else. Did you hear about the Burgo over in Duskwallow? Yeah, Duskwallow, east of Niederham. He was burned at the stake last week. I ain't lying. They say he was in the league with devils, and he was feeding his cat milk with human blood in it. Oh, you're full of shit, Samantha. You know, she just says, there's no way. And it's like, it's the truth. Well, my name ain't Aaron. They always overheard him yelling, drink your bloody milk. What a crazy bastard doing that to a cat.
What was the name of the place? You said it was west Duskwallow? Is that what you said? I don't see it on the map.
So you're thinking it could be around this area. Oh, up here, east of Niederhelm.
Okay. So after I catch some of the bit of gossip going around the town, I will speak to Thalion and say, well, unfortunately, my friend, I heard nothing about about the person for which you are looking for, but I have heard several rumors of things going around town or going around the area that would attract someone of the adventurous mentality, of which the people don't seem to be very fond of. They seem to believe that adventuring companies come and make trouble and cause damage, and then they don't ever pay for it. It seems to be the same perception that even the Blackhearts were getting in the West.
Guess we'll have to take special care not to cause any ruckus going through these small hamlets.
I look to Dromond and say, as honorable as you are, my friend, you don't have to go and steal swords that are sacred to any villages on this side of the mountains, do you?
I have not heard of the next object to save our friend's family, if you remember.
Well, if we do have to do something of the sort, I hope we can keep it a secret from these people.
Seems like my only possible lead is to go to Casper's Ferry.
This is definitely not something that you're used to, Thalion. And now you're really starting to get an idea about how many doors were opened just because of Elytrana. You've never had to camp out at night in one of the settlements. There was always a room offered, food given. And you're definitely not used to such a cold welcome.
I've been gone nearly a year. It's like I've been completely forgotten.
You haven't even been gone a year. You've been gone maybe 4 months.
So if anyone suddenly says that to die, I'll just probably turn and be like, it feels like it's been a year.
You left in the early spring, and it's almost the end of the high summer month. So
I've been gone only 3 months, and it feels like forever.
okay, you guys just sort of pack your things and leave town.
Yep.
So does Xerax share the tent with me?
Xerac did share.
Oh yeah.
I did, and if I was able to glean anything from what you were mumbling about over the course of an evening, I'm just trying to see if you're mumbling about things that happened to you in your life, so we can learn more about the professor is all.
I speak in deep speech, and it seems like I'm talking to somebody.
I love how Chris is like dictating what he's doing. This is great.
Well,
From what languages he does speak in his sleep that you can understand, Xerac, the words coming out of his mouth are complete and utter rubbish. And nothing really seems to make sense. So as he speaks Common and Sylvan and Draconic, the things he's saying are so weird. Like, no, don't tie the bananas to my toes. Cats only meow only when they're hungry when it's midnight on the third moon of the day. And he's just saying like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? It makes absolutely no sense.
Well, he is old, so his mind is probably a bit muddled. I chuckle a bit, actually, at some of the silly things he's saying before I fall asleep myself.
But you do hear this very unhuman, very deep, alien voice that sort of almost oozes out of his mouth in short bursts. The bass is incredibly deep, that it almost makes you sort of vibrate your bones as it kind of catches you. And you have heard him speak this sometimes when he's casting his spells. But then it gets broken up by this weird litany of manic gibberish that just is incomprehensible.
Well, that was the second best night of my life.
Nothing changes, Chris.
Okay,
It's the same.
okay. I was just curious, like if I noticed anything, like even the slightest.
Actually, yes. Hold on.
If you mention about a horned child in this town,
Is it in this town?
I think I have it in my notes somewhere. Not Shire.
Yes, Chris. Yeah, you guys remember a rumor they were talking about a merchant that came into town and said that there was a child in Notshire to the northwest of here that was born with cloven hooves, and that the priest had the child burnt.
I did ask a question last time, the other night. Did I not get an answer?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing changed.
so we continue our routes. The safest way to Casper's Ferry is to take the right road towards Hackford. Hopefully there's nothing in the bridge that goes across it.
I think taking the road to Hackford is a good idea. Most of the rumors that we've heard, at the very least, mention places further north. Unless you wanted to go to the castle, to the west, I think Hackfort would be our best gateway to the north, as it were, where we might find your friend.
What's your passive survival? Is it 13 or 14?
I have a +4.
So it's 14. As you look over the map of Xerac, you estimate that Notshire is about 2 days' journey to the northwest. So that's 2 days out of the way, unless you guys continue northeast towards Hackford.
We'll probably continue northeast since Stallion's mind is focused on Sibylla. Well, Sibylla and Zanzari.
Okay. Do you guys try to buy anything or barter in town?
I try to pledge for whatever I can get.
You try to forage?
Like if you would trade me this loaf of bread, I will teach you what I know. I'm being a professor.
Give me a persuasion check.
I knew that was gonna happen. I'm the
This
crazy
is not
old
gonna turn
man.
out.
They look at you with the saddest eyes you've ever seen. And for a moment you think that you might have offended them, but they're actually looking at you with pity. And you see that they give you the loaf of bread. And then just kind of walk away.
Thank you, my dear.
I might grab Leomorn when we're like right outside of the town and bring him with me to forage for herbs before we take off.
You think we'll find anything around here?
Always find something.
Okay. You guys go ahead and give me survival checks.
Mark, I would like to barter, if possible, for some carrots or apples for the horses for treats to keep them in higher spirits, given the weather's keeping them down.
Okay. Are you going to try to just pay with coin, or are you going to try to do open trade?
I want to trade. I want to trade a little bit of the smoked fish that I have been packing and keeping as fresh as I can, as it seems it might be something that they're not used to. And I would like to set aside a bit of the smoked fish, seasoned with my special sauce. Just like a teaspoon, maybe, for a pound.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Okay.
We're gonna come back to the town like burned down because people only taste fish now.
Oh god, I get a +0 to this. This is gonna be fun. Oh, not bad.
Okay, that's not too bad. I'm gonna say that the stench of the fermented fish paste on the dry fish when you were trying to trade that really didn't help your cause at all. But a 14's pretty good. I'll say they'll trade you a basket of apples, and I mean they're small spring sour apples, but horses love them, as well as what seems to be bushels of wild carrots that they've gone out and kind of foraged for. So 2 baskets, 1 basket of apples, 1 basket of carrots. We'll say for 3 pounds of your smoked fish.
Ooh, okay. Okay. The horses are worth it. I will gladly give them a bit of seasoned fish. Actually, I only seasoned 1 pound, so I'll give them 2 pounds of unseasoned regular smoked fish and 1 pound of special fish. And I will.
Yeah, they definitely make that trade. You can see that protein is definitely.
Excellent. So I'll store the carrots and apples in the cart, and then I'm just using it as kind of a pickup for the horses to keep them in better spirits, as the weather is probably making them pretty miserable too.
Okay. Leomorn, you're having no luck whatsoever. The one thing you're noticing is that it is very hard to find wild herbs growing around a woodland settlement that probably uses a lot of the wild herbs that grow around here. Thalion, you do manage to scrounge up, some mushrooms, kind of growing on the side of a fallen tree. You get about 10 gold points worth of material from that. But other than that, it is a very barren area for trying to pick, because you can imagine the people here resource a lot of their stuff from the surrounding area.
Okay, once everyone was ready, I would start the cart.
All you need to do, Elise, is convince them it's good shit. Maybe we'll start making money with this fish sauce.
Oh yeah, she could. Even though in the back of her mind she's going, I swear to God, Zira, if you try to shove that down my throat, I'm gonna kill you.
Exactly. I was waiting for the customer to say, well, wait a minute, you take a bite first, and be like, oh, no, really, you need to try it first.
She'd
It's
be
a slow go.
I'll pass. I'll sell it for you, Zarak, but I'm not gonna try it. I've seen what you did to poor Valeria.
It's a slow go. You guys make it all the way to dark to the next day. Camp out. Set up your watches. You watch as Zirak places his alarm around the camp. Again, no travelers on the road. You guys don't even remember that you saw anybody coming into Durnan at that point. And then yet here, all through the night, and even in the morning, there's no passing carts, no passing horsemen. You guys gather up your things and begin pushing through the rain once more. Setting up camp for the night.
Would this be the nights where Garcia would start feeling back to normal?
Yes. Yes, he shouldn't have any more penalties.
And during my watch, because I almost forgot I could do this, just to feel like real safe, and I'm gonna use my primeval range just to see if I sense anything new, even though I know
Primal awareness is a mind.
yes.
You do feel pings and presences of undead within a mile of you.
Do I know which direction and how many?
Let me read the exact same. Let me read it here. You can sense either of the following types of creatures at present, within 1 mile or within 6 miles. This feature doesn't reveal the creature's location or number. So you feel within a general 6-mile radius of where you're at that you do pick up what feels to you to be the presence of undead. You do not know how many, and you definitely can't point out a location.
Okay.
Jack, you were able to discern the weather for 24 hours, correct? Do you by chance
I am
know
able
when
to do that. I can summon my little orb that will tell us what the weather is.
do you by chance know when the rain will let up, or will this continue?
I can go ahead and cast Druidcraft, and it'll tell me what the weather will be like for 24 hours, but it doesn't go beyond that.
This light rain that's accompanying this thunderstorm, as you pull up your globe and you sort of read the pattern forming within that tells you what the coming weather is, the rain is actually going to pick up in the morning again to that monsoon-like driving rain.
I'm afraid the rain will be continuing for quite some time, Professor.
I see.
This is my Barovian fog. Just shitty-ass rain.
And then I go back and then I ponder.
Well, good thing Elise had tucked in all her stuff to keep as dry as possible.
You guys get your things up again, and you prepare yourself for another just mind-numbing march through the wilderness here. Again, not seeing any travelers, which was incredibly weird.
I think halfway up the road, I'll probably peek out to Thalian's like, I need to ask, Is it always like this out here? No traffic, no foot traffic of any kind?
Well, I mean, there might be a few here and there, but this is unnaturally quiet.
I was just wondering, I mean, 2 days, understandable. 3 days, questionable. Any more, and, well, suspicion.
Is this road not along one of the major trade routes, Thalian? Or do the townships around here just not trade amongst each other?
They occasionally trade, but the road was never this rocky and torn up before. Something tells me a lot of people haven't been passing through as often as might be tied to these disappearances and keep hearing about.
Well, more of a reason to keep our ear to the ground.
You guys are coming up on the 3rd day of travel from Durnan. Really, the first sign, maybe, that there were travelers up in this area is you see off to the side of the road what seems to be a fire pit. Long since darkened, but it's there. And you see where there's almost like a turnoff on the road where it looks like multiple people may have parked at one time and maybe camped here for the night. You guys begin to sort of set up your camp. Zirak, you do notice something on a rock. What seems to be a rune that's been carved onto it. It's seemingly fresh, and as you look at it, you notice that it keeps getting carved in over time.
If I inspect the room, might I be able to tell what its purpose is? Maybe I've seen an image of it in a book I've read, or through my arcane studies, know what this rune would be used for?
It's pretty simplistic as you look at it, and you note that it's a traveler's rune, where people mark campsites for travel.
Nodding my appraisal of the rune, I would like to freshen it up, if possible. I'll pull out my dagger and, kind of retrace the lines in the stone, and look around at the group and say, this should be a safe place to camp, as this rune denotes, a place of rest for travelers.
Okay, you guys begin to set up camp, put up your tents, you guys hitch up the horses loosely to allow them to kind of graze. Sadly, again, you guys are still somewhat out in the open, but for the most part, it's not a heavy rain. It's more of that annoying Seattle sprinkle that kind of keeps up over. But the impending news of the coming monsoon does not... it just makes everything even more terrible, knowing that that's what you have to look forward to. What would you guys like to do?
Seeing Zarek spot that room, thought came to Thalian's mind, and in the area we're in, I just want to try and see, though I know it's going to be really hard, if I notice any druidic markings anywhere.
Do you speak Druidic? Can you recognize the marking?
He's really pretty much just going off of what he knows Sibylla had done before, just trying to see if he notices anything.
Okay, go ahead and give me an intelligence check first. Cabin fever setting it. Okay, go ahead and give me a perception check. Or investigation, you're trying... No, perception.
Trying to perceive something, isn't he?
Yeah. Okay. You don't really find any sort of... The first places you look, you see that there are tree markings. And you look around the trees, but you find no sort of tree markings. Nothing that sort of marks out Safe Haven or anything like that. That you notice that most druids would post on trees. It's almost eerily similar in behavior to what thieves and thieves guilds do when they mark safe houses with their thieves' kit. But you notice none of these are on the trees here, or even as you sort of dig around the moss themselves. On the rock next to the Traveler's Rune, you see nothing really painted out there. But I will say, as you sort of wander along the tree lines, you notice that at one point, back behind this area, behind the bushes and the trees, you find it seems to be an old house that looks like it was it looks like it was destroyed.
How far is this old house from the campsite?
It wasn't very far. As you are here, as you're kind of looking at it.
I'll alert the group first, and then I kind of just check this place.
Okay, you guys watch as Stallion kind of comes back out of the bushes and the trees, and he sort of calls out to you guys that he has found something in the back.
I will go over and invest and help and check it out with them.
What is it that you have found, my friend? Is Garshadow back to his normal self?
He is. And it looks like a house that may have burnt down recently.
Get out there.
Does it
Let me
look
turn on
like,
my light.
does it look like it's been recent even in the rain, or does it look like it's been here a while?
Give me... what would that be?
Investigation?
Give me an investigation check, as you're trying to discern how old this wreck is.
Fishing in that.
The hardest thing about it right now, Professor, as you look at it, is it's that the wood itself has taken on so much damp and moss that you perhaps think that it's quite old, but you've noticed just in your short time here that moss grows like crazy, and so does the algae covering everything just because of the constant damp and humidity. It's really super hard to tell.
I'm going to try and sift through this to see if I can find anything.
Digging through with your hands?
Would you like help, Master Thalion?
Sure.
What exactly are you looking for?
Just see if there's anything of use. I'll probably
Okay,
see if
go
I
ahead
can
and-
find a log or like a heavy branch or something I can use to help kind of sift the boards over.
Okay, I'll give you advantage, but we're trying to do this with a heavy log or branch. The DC is going to go up.
Here, let me help you lift it. Let's just use our hands.
No, it's not my hands, I guess. This is raining anyways.
You guys should be on this map already.
Yeah, and I see two Zerax.
Oh, I don't see myself. Maybe I need to pull a light first.
I see. You shouldn't. I don't know.
There should be a campfire, like,
Yeah.
2 squares here.
Here's the.
Everything is black to me. I don't see anything on the map.
All
Here's
your
the rule.
characters, your character represents, controlled by,
I could try refreshing.
can you see this?
Oh, it all came into view. Yes. Now I see 2 of me. I'll remove the one I pulled up.
You
Here's
look
the room.
different
I
today.
can't see it.
Guys, give me one quick second. I need to adjust something on Ken's sheet.
Ooh, now I even hear the fire roaring, I think.
I think I hear the
Okay.
fire. Well, I don't see rain if there's supposed to be a rain.
No, the weather fucking brutal to turn them off. It just made everything slip and lag on my end, so I just said fuck it. I mean, it was like $5 to get them, but I'm kind of sad I don't get to use them. But it's just way too much for Roll20 system, as cool as it is.
That sucks. I kind of like that effect.
Thalion, did you guys roll an investigation with advantage?
I did, yeah, I did double 20.
Yeah, so roll investigation with advantage as you're digging through stuff.
I'm helping
Lovecraft.
now. Unless you want me to roll. Oh, never mind.
Okay, 17's good. You start to move boards together and sort of lightly set them aside, and you notice underneath what seems to be a tunnel.
Tome?
Oh.
You said tunnel or two?
A tunnel that seems to be right in the middle of where this house is. And as you move more boards to the side, you see that it's a pretty tight fit. It's probably 4 feet in diameter. To get down into there, you're probably going to have to squeeze, but you see where it goes down and it sort of slopes. And the last bit of your dark vision as you sort of loom in, you can see what seems to be a bottom and a flat floor before you lose it from your line of sight.
Allow me to investigate, Master Thalion. After all, I am the oldest here, and you are still young.
Last time you got yourself killed almost. I don't think it's a good idea to have you go in by yourself.
Oh, I don't know. That's a legit reason. He is the oldest, so he is headed to the grave first. So perhaps he should go.
I'll lightly smack Zerg in the back of the head. Just like, be nice.
You see in the dark.
Yes, I can.
Okay.
How far down does the tunnel go?
The tunnel's about
Nice.
20 feet down before it sort of floor, and then you lose the rest of it.
Wait, how far down, Mark?
20 feet.
Definitely see. I can see all the way up to 120 feet.
I thought humans could not see in the dark that well.
And you're looking as Zirak and Valyria have these magical lights, yet Professor has.
No.
Sure, you can see. Yeah, but
I-
a little closer at his eyes now.
I assure you, my lad, I can see. And I start crawling, army crawl face first, going down into the tunnel.
I would grab your jacket before you get too far. I'm like, wait, there's a 20-foot drop, I think.
It's like think of a tube slide. That's what it kind of
Yeah,
looks
you
like.
said it was a slope, so I thought it was like a slide.
Yeah, it's a gradual slope down towards the floor.
I wanna tie off some rope somewhere and then at least have it where it goes down just in case it goes down further.
Okay, we'll say that that's easy enough.
And then I'll hand that on to the professor before he goes in.
I will tie it around. Here, tie it. I'll tie around my ankle. And that way I can crawl better or whatever. So.
I'm getting flashbacks to when Layla used to crawl into place. I still miss
Yeah,
it.
except for she didn't tie ropes to herself. She just dove head first.
Tug on the rope if you see something and we can't hear you.
Will do. And I'm crawling 20 feet down.
You crawl, and you manage to squeeze yourself out onto the ground. Give me a Constitution saving.
I have on my sheet an inspiration point. Use that for this save.
Perfect. You managed not to throw up. I like that you earned your inspiration on that. The smell down here is incredible. It is a mix of rotting flesh. It is unbearable.
The shithole. That's what it is. I crawled down the goddamn shithole.
This is making your eyes water.
Kind of reminds me of that tomb where we found all the goblins and they had that pile of disgust.
Yeah, and you're sort of unintentionally like kind of dry heaving as you're sort of down here, as you sort of close your mouth and have to force yourself to breathe in through your nose just so you don't taste it. But you look and you see what seems to be a cavern that's kind of opening up before you. 20-25 feet ahead of you, about 20-25 feet up, there seems to be a walkway carved into stone and a trail that continues underneath the walkway in what seems to be a sort of carved out arch.
I found something, guys. I'm gonna check it out.
Wait for us!
And I untie the rope, if I can, around my ankle. I don't know, am I crawling still or am I walking now?
You're walking now.
I walk towards the the arch, and look at it.
Okay, as soon as you step to the arch, you hear what seems to be screaming, and we're going to roll initiative.
Okay, let's do this.
And now you have to wait for your companions to squeeze your way down at half movement, a 20-foot tunnel. One by one.
It was I just went.
Because you walked ahead.
Don't worry, I got a secret thing I could use.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. Give me a second. And I don't know if I have enough room to fit people. I do. Give me a second, I'm going to add your tokens onto here, but do not move them where I put them. You should be able to see. This is just so you see.
And to you guys' earlier discussion, if there is a pattern, I try not to. To my play style. I'm sorry.
You're fine, Chris. You just do you. It is.
I just love how everybody knows what Chris does, and they're like, "Yeah, let him go first." It's not your fault, Chris. They enable you.
Because they know I'm the one that would be the one doing it. Even if in real life, like on a Halloween game, I would be the one to do the shit. This is why I have the twins to hold me back in real life so I don't do crazy shit.
Oh, you'd be perfect for the tabletop game Betrayal at the House on the Hill.
I have that game. I have the Baldur's Gate version. I don't have the Legacy version though yet. That's like $75.
I'm just realizing how similar you are to a friend of mine that's out in DC who used to do ghost hunter crap out in the woods. And
You know how fun that would be?
I was the only one pulling him out of that shit.
That would be so much fun.
Okay, give me a second. I gotta.
Probably find my dead body and a bunch of empty bullet casings all over the place, like I'm shooting at something, and shotgun shells and.
Chris, you were definitely born in the wrong time. You should have been born during the Wild West. I think you would have been an awesome like outlaw in a freaking Wild West town, just shooting your guns out in the desert and with not a care to the world. Billy the Kid, that would be you.
Who says it's not him?
Well, he did grow up in Yakima, so you might not be far from the truth.
I only use my weapon for self-defense.
Self-defense against the bunnies in the yard, yeah.
Well, actually, I had to pull out my gun once since I've been here before already. And I've only been here for 3 months.
Hey, if it worked in Bubba Hotep, it could work here.
Some crazy ass lady was knocking on my door at 2:30 in the fucking morning looking for some random dude.
Random dude, Markman.
I did not open the door all the way. I had that latch, so I opened it, cracked like, hello?
That's Florida for you.
So here? No. Oh, do you know where he lives? I don't know who you're talking about. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. And I go back.
Hey, Chris, you know what's even scarier than opening your door to a strange person with a gun in your hand? Opening your door to a strange person when you have a battle axe in your motherfucking hand. They don't know what to say when you do that.
especially if it's at like 3 o'clock in the morning, you know.
Exactly.
And it's like, oh god.
What the hell are you rolling? Are you serious? Roll.
Dude, Lovecraft is gonna die before we even hear the screams. He's gonna be.
Or we're going to see a 60-plus-year-old man go all Ninja Warrior up the robo we're trying to go down.
That could happen.
Turn back! Turn back! Turn back!
Of my swords. I've just brought 2 handguns to Florida with me.
Oh, I don't think I'd go anywhere without my katana. I'd take that. No. Even on vacation, except for when I fly, because you can't take it on a plane.
Bathlos.
Or you can. You just have to go through customs with.
Yeah, I don't want. If I could take it as a carry-on, like in a tube, like a game tube with maps, I would take my katana.
And they won't let you do that.
No, I know. I tried. Dude, now I have an idea. Thanks. I'm gonna say that next time. That this is my emotional support katana. I need it. I don't feel safe without it.
You're gonna be like that lady. This is my emotional support peacock.
This is my emotional support burrito.
Yeah, that's right.
I bet you that would work too, actually.
Oh, it will not work.
There is an echoing. Oh, didn't I?
Oh,
No, not yet.
Thank you for the reminder. Boom, here you go.
oh, fuck. What the?
So here's the entrance. Here's the entrance that you were at, Chris, and you're looking through this tunnel. And as soon as you look down, with your vision, the creature look up and then begin to scream. And now the scream is being carried and echoing, and you're thinking you're picking up different pitches as it's being answered.
Mark, a quick question: This is an archway, right? This isn't a bridge to these 2 areas.
This is an archway, so let me do this really quick. This goes underneath, and this elevated ramp at this point is about 25 feet up, and over here is about 20 feet up.
Okay, so I don't technically don't see these.
Nope, you just see the two over here breaking bones and like sucking out marrow before they know it.
Okay. Does everybody up hear the screams as well?
Who is leaning over? Thalion, you're leaning over in the. Yeah, Thalion would hear the screams echoing. After you said, "We found something!"
Would I recognize these screams?
Okay, here we go. 5, 10, 15, 20,
Guys, I am not alone!
30. Fall is going to use its action to dash and fall down next to you. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
I have to make one? It doesn't?
It's gonna
Yes.
land on you.
Your DC on this is significantly... Oh, never mind. You rolled a 7.
Oh no!
Lands on top of you as you have fallen prone. As it used itself as sort of a battering ram to knock you down, it takes 3 points of bludgeoning damage from the fall. But you're looking at this emaciated, skeletal-looking creature that's not quite like... It's not like the... This thing has a manic look in its eyes. It has a strange carnal intelligence. But boy, does it want to eat you.
Mark, we're not on initiative because you moved us to a new map. So I don't see me on initiative.
Sweet mother of balls. Oh, that's right, because you guys all...
We rolled on the other map. That's why.
Are you guys cool with me just telling when your turns are on?
Just know
Yep.
I'm second to last.
I see initiative on my screen.
But if but you're not on initiative. That's the thing, though. It's all the
Oh, the token isn't. Mark, what I would do is just swap the token from the other map to this map. Will it hold initiative if you drag it onto this map and then delete the one that's here when we get here?
Lovecraft, scroll down to the bottom. Do you see yourself in initiative?
Yes.
Alright, taken care of. Elise.
I'm gonna guess go. Wait, we're going through the tunnel to get to Lovecraft, right?
I assume we're hearing Lovecraft holler from below.
Yes.
All right. Elise is gonna make her way reluctantly down the tunnel.
Okay,
Like,
are you going to use your action to dash?
yeah, sure. I'll do it.
You
Like,
managed to
hello, Lovecraft,
crawl.
coming.
You
I'm
managed
coming,
to
I'm
crawl
coming.
out of the bottom, but with only 10 feet of movement left, you can't stand up. So you're currently on the ground, prone at the moment, right there.
All right.
And you're looking as Lovecraft is on the ground, and he has this strange... it's almost like bones with just the faintest bit of skin on it, but it is clawing and trying to bite at him.
Oh, you found friends. I don't like your friends. I don't.
Garshadow.
I will give Garshadow the command to follow in after me, so he's holding his action movements.
Okay.
At least
Yes,
I
I'm
would.
being a little protective of Garshadow.
Brad,
What?
your turn.
Alright, so I'll move and cunning action dash to get down.
Okay, so you squeeze through a 30, cunning action dash. You do have the athletic feat, so you're able to stand up here at the mouth of the tunnel. You notice that Elise just got through, and she's on the verge of standing up. You still have...
Still have what?
I believe you still have your action.
Do I have any more move to get out of the way so that other people can come?
15 feet, you dashed for an extra 10. You have 10 feet of movement. Since you stand up with 5.
And then we'll throw a dagger at this starved group.
Okay, it is prone on top of Lovecraft, so that'll be a disadvantage. But chances are you're still probably going to hit. Yeah. Oh no, it's dead.
Its head just explodes as it opens its mouth. Crap.
Lovecraft, your face is drenched with what seems to be a blackish, bluish, greenish ooze that somehow makes it into your mouth, and you're longing for the days of Xerax fish supper.
Yeah, I would chug that whole thing just to get it out of my mouth.
Okay, good turn, Drummond. Valyria.
A tablespoon is all it'll take, Lovecraft. I'll do you up a good one when we're done here.
And then you'll taste nothing but fish for a few days.
Doesn't it make everything else taste like fish too?
Everything but what you put it on.
Well, what I'm saying is if you get more ghoul in your mouth, it'll just taste like fish, so it won't be so bad anymore.
Exactly. I'd rather taste fish than ghoul blood, even though, don't mind the fact that he might conjeve a disease that way.
Okay, Valyria, are you just dashing in?
Yep.
Okay, so you're going to make it to the mouth tunnel, and I'll say that you can go about there. This ghoul.
And that's all I can do.
15, 20, 25, 30, 5, leaps, landing on top of the professor. Professor, give me another dexterity save while you're on the ground. Okay. You manage to scoot out a bit, and you watch. I'm going to move this one here. This ghoul kind of ricochets off the wall and kind of lands next to you, but still sort of scrabbling at you. It takes 4 points of bludgeoning damage from its own fall. It's the end of its turn. It too is prone. 0.
Alright, so I will, actually, hearing the cries of everybody from down below, fearful for the professor's frail geriatric life, I am going to... Well, wait, I might not have this prepared. Hold on, I might have just ruined my whole turn. I do not have it prepared. Okay, never mind. I'm going to double move down to the bottom. No, I'm going to single move because as my action, I'm going to cast.
Longstrider? Oh, Mage Armor. Okay.
No, I was going to use Expeditious Retreat, but I didn't have that prepared. I could have got down there fast to help him out, but I'm going to take my time instead and be safe, I guess. So I only moved down 15 feet.
Oh, so you're blocking the tunnel?
Shit, no, I would. My whole body would block the tunnel, wouldn't it?
Yep, it's very narrow for this specific reason.
I am going to cast Mage Armor and wait outside until everybody goes in, kind of ushering everybody ahead of me.
Okay, sounds good. This guy, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 5, 10, 15, 20, coming up next to the professor. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 5, 10, 15, next to the professor. This guy is going to go 5, 10. Those of you look up now as pebbles sort of scatter off the edge of the overpass here that goes in the tunnel, and you see the strangest image of a greenish skinned creature that seems to have these runes carved in flesh. And you can see that it's starting to sort of crackle with energy.
Oh.
I need to read something really quick. Okay. And you guys watch in the center of this room as these lights begin to swirl and pulsate in a very hypnotic way. I need Elite, Drummond, and the professor to give me charisma saving throws.
I'm good at those.
Please. Okay, that's alright.
Okay, so Valeria fails. Elise and Lovecraft
Okay.
pass. Drummond, can you give me a charisma save?
It's a nice
9.
roll up a little.
Damn, okay, so Drummond failed too. You guys are now charmed.
Okay.
So while charmed by the spell, you are incapacitated and have a spade of 0. The spell creature, if you guys take damage or if someone uses an action to kind of shake you. But you guys are sort of standing, you're kind of on your hands and knees, like stupefied, looking at these lights. Drummond, you're sort of drawn to
Yeah.
these lights as
Wow,
well.
pretty.
Five, 10, 15, 20, 25. 5, 10, 15.
Their deck save.
Nope. This one's just diving down to the floor. My vision for this are the creepy zombies from World War Z where they just dive off stuff to try to get to you.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was creepy.
This is actually lining up for what I want. So this is you're actually helping me.
20, 25, 30, 5, 10, 15, 20. Moonlight.
Moonlight will fly down and use an action to shake Valeria.
What?
Give me give me an intelligence check for Moonlight. Just to see if it can perceive that there's something wrong with Valeria. Since it was
Fair
up
enough.
since it was up with you. 5. I'm gonna say no, for the purpose that it just flew in, and it's only starting to notice the lights, and sort of how everybody's kind of on the ground.
Okay, then I'm assuming since it's tiny, it can fly through the hole without having to squeeze her.
Without issue.
So it's gonna fly down and land on Droman's shoulder, since Droman's the only one standing.
Okay.
So it dives bomb down this hole and just comes up like a majestic bird.
Yeah, it flies down and kind of perches on Droman's shoulder while it kind of sees Elise and Valeria lying down, and Droman's the only one standing. So, yeah, on my turn, I could close my eyes and get a view of what's going on down below.
Okay, I got a plan, and thank you for being so helpful, Mark.
Oh, I'm just playing what these starved creatures would be doing.
I know that. I am happy that you are so.
20. 25. It's going to use its action to pull out a shield. Leomorn.
While hearing everything that's happening down there, I too am unfortunately going to have to burn a turn and cast Mage Armor on myself. But I'll look over to Xerac and just give him a nod, like, "Are you ready for this?"
You see Xerac kind of shake his head yes, and then begin to close his eye.
Okay, Lovecraft.
I can't believe I survived this long, and I'm so happy. I put my hand and say in deep speech, I seek your servant seeks your assistance. Asked that ability from my tattoo.
Okay, so you're going to cast Eovard's Black Tentacles centered on your body. Elise, you're the only person conscious that can see this. You watch as hundreds of thin black tentacles erupt from Lovecraft. And he is standing, or he's on the ground, and like a sea urchin. You're seeing all of these tentacles flap around now and try to get at these starved creatures.
She's officially creeped out, but she's not gonna say anything because she's creeped out. She's just gonna be like, you do you. Oh, God.
No wonder that old man has lived to be as old as he is. Look at that tentacle
That's
stick.
exactly what she's like. How the hell did it... I don't want to know. I don't know what that is, but that looks hella weird.
You go there, I'll be over here.
Yeah, you do you. You stay over there and I stay over here. Mhm.
Within a 20-foot radius that includes Droman and Moonlight, unfortunately, must make a dex save.
Oh, God.
That's right, it's an 8x8, not a 4x4.
I'm incapacitated. Can I make dex saves as incapacitated?
It's not. It's a 20-foot square. It's a 4x4.
It's a 4x4, right?
It's a 20-foot square. It's not a 20-foot radius. It's a 20-foot square, which is a 10-foot radius.
Okay, I was thinking it was centered on me and it comes out for me. Okay.
No, it's a 4x4 square. You position it as long as you're in it somewhere.
Okay. I read that wrong, but still.
And actually, it can be anywhere around 90 feet away from you. So it's just a 4x4 square within 90 feet of it.
No, this is a specific item that it radiates from him.
Oh, I'm reading the spell.
So he's the
Says
center.
range.
Yeah. This is centered on his body.
Yeah, so it's a 20-foot square, so he has to be somewhere in the 4 in the middle of it. It can't be exactly centered on him unless you. Well, it can. The rule says if a creature is in the square more than 50%, they're affected.
We'll just do this.
Yes, that's exactly how I would do it.
Okay, now they need to make dexterity save.
Well, Droman is not caught in
No,
And nor is Moonlight.
on me, so
Okay,
I'm like,
so this is red 1, fails. Red 2, fails. Red 4, fails. Red 5, passes. Red 6, fail.
That's actually quite a big area. I didn't think that's how big the square would be for that spell.
this is like my oh shit moment spell.
You hit the panic button.
Okay, Valiant.
The brute and this guy don't have to make one?
On the railway.
Oh, they're on the railing? Okay, I thought they jumped down as well, so.
Nope.
I'm going to
Oh,
double move.
Hold on. That was an action. Can I stand?
Sure. Wait, no. If you read it correctly, your movement becomes 0 when you cast it, so you're permanently prone while these are.
Okay, okay. Never mind then.
Glad I remember that fun tidbit.
Okay, since they are all the ones 20 foot. When a creature enters that area, so the people who fail, they're restrained, so their move becomes 0.
Nothing happens to them until the beginning of their turn because they're going to start their turn there. It's just like Spirit Guardians.
Okay. So it's like a warlock version of Spirit Guardians. Okay.
It
So
basically
they're not supposed to take damage then.
they're not supposed to do anything until their turn starts.
Or when they a creature enters the affected area for the first time.
On a turn. So on its turn, it enters it for the first time.
Okay,
Because
now
it's there.
that's where it says on a turn. The key right there, right?
Yeah, so basically, Mark, on each one of those creatures' turns, when their turn starts, they make the save to see if they're restrained and take damage.
Okay, sounds good, Valiant.
I'm going to double move down
15 feet. You burn 10 more. You need 15 feet of movement, so you can stand up. But I think that's it.
Okay. So I in there and stand up. And Dark Shadow following after. I guess that would.
Okay, go ahead and pull them and put them where you want them. Elise, you're currently prone on the ground.
I will stand up for half my movement. If I can. And, sorry, she's just baffled at the tentacles, so... Yeah, so she's gonna stand up for half her movement. And she's gonna be like, well... She's gonna... what is that? Number 5? She's gonna cast Vicious Mockery at it since it looks like it's restrained, so... Yep.
Okay, fails.
Cool. And, yeah, and then she's gonna stay. she's gonna stay right there. She doesn't want to get anywhere near that.
You don't want to move and make some room?
Oh yeah. She will. She will move over here, hopefully. Oh, everybody can
sounds good.
trail. Oop. No.
Dark Shadow.
I kind of call out for Dark Shadow to not into that, whatever that is I'm looking at. But seeing that Valeria and Truman is staring at Daisy to Dark Shadow to nudge Valeria, see if he can knock her from that daze.
I need an intelligence check from you to notice that Valeria's in a daze since you're behind her. Okay,
Nope, I'm fine.
I'm gonna say that you're thinking that she's looking at this horrifying display. That's
Okay, then I will just tell Dark Shadow to hold this fire until he sees something that
okay. Sounds good. Drummond, go ahead and give me another charisma save.
I think I'm gonna use my inspiration just to try and get out of this.
Okay.
Oh.
Holy shit. Okay, so you are still
Dude, it's these
incapacitated.
lights, man.
Speed of 0, it's fucking trippy, bro.
I could see the music.
As I
Valeria.
can just picture German kind of going, like,
Yeah.
trying to touch one, like,
I need a charisma saving throw.
Okay.
Funny enough, I'm currently watching Nice Dreams.
You are still incapacitated. Okay, Chris, go ahead and do a Eovard's roll. And then the Ghoul Beggar will attempt to... Makes it.
Hey, Chris, or Mark, can I make another intelligence check for Moonlight to determine if he can tell if Droman's aware? No, you know what? I'll wait. Never mind. I don't want to bother you with that because Zarak can do the thinking for Moonlight on my turn. I'll just.
Okay, I mean, you can do it now, and then we can just get it out of the way if you want to roll it and see.
Mark, what do you want me? Do you just want to? You want me to roll again instead of taking the 10?
Yes.
Okay. I have it as a spell card, so I'm gonna roll 3d6 slash 3d6.
Even better than the 10. Aren't you glad?
Yep.
It is going to take half damage though.
Half.
They made the save.
Oh, I see the 22 now.
Alright. This guy is somehow still alive. They are considered restrained. All of these attacks are going to be at disadvantage. They're going to be regular because you're prone. So we're going to say...
Well, the creature, if they fail to save, they are restrained. And that's it.
So they made there so they're not restrained.
If they make the save...
Well,
Yes,
they're
sir.
both prone, so this is going to be at a regular attack. So here comes a bite against you for a 10, which I assume misses.
Oh, will miss me.
Okay, Zirak, it is your turn.
Okay, so I am now going to double move. So I can move 60 feet. So I can move 30 feet. And end my turn wherever I can get 30 feet crawling down the tunnel.
I'll say that puts you right next to... I'll say that got you where Elise was, now that she made room. You saw her move up, and you were able to crawl there. But you have a pretty good view of what's going on. There is a horrific sight. As hundreds of these tentacles are just wriggling away, and they seem to have what look to be skinny, malnourished, undead things in them.
Yeah, this does not seem like a pleasant place. Stay from the ground.
Those came out of the professor. I don't know if he's all right, but I don't want to get anywhere near that.
With your passive intelligence, Zirak, as you look around, you notice that Valeria is standing, slack-jawed, and not moving.
No, wait. That's right.
Okay, so I will just mentally, as a free action, command Moonlight on his turn to shake Valeria.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay, this guy is not prone, but needs to make a save. Holy balls. At least I'm hitting it on those, huh, Chris, and not the attack.
You want me to roll?
Go ahead and roll damage again, and then I'll half that. Okay, so 4.
FYI, Mark, it doesn't say anywhere in the spell that they take half damage on a save. It says they take damage or do not take damage. Kind of like the Fiery Eye spell that you gave me. If you make the dex save, it does no damage. In this case, it's the same way.
Oh, and then they auto-take damage if they're restrained.
Yep, if they're restrained, they just take the damage.
all of them
Oh,
are.
no. So a creature that starts his turn in the area and is already is restrained. A creature restrained by the tentacles.
If they make the save, they're not restrained. If they fail the save, they are restrained, and then on their next turn, they would take the damage because they're still restrained at the start of their next turn.
So he takes no damage.
They get the health back, and if they would have failed, they take damage, be restrained, and on the next turn they take auto damage.
Oh, that's
Correct. That's why. The spell is over 2 turns. It could do shit tons of damage to the thing that is restrained by it.
That's crazy sauce. All right, this one is not prone. It was one of the ones that ran up the ramp. It's going to claw at you on the ground.
Advantage is a melee attack.
Okay, 17.
That would hit me, and now I gotta make a concentration save.
Constitution save, please.
Oh, hold on.
I need one save first.
Oh, okay, what save do you want me to make first?
I want you to make the slashing save first on my attack.
Okay, so this is a con for your paralyze.
Okay, so you manage to fend off the paralyzation with this sort of unnatural necrotic energy that's flowing.
I need to make a save to maintain concentration because it's a concentration spell.
Nope.
10 minutes.
No, he said it's from your tattoo. I think it's.
This is from your item. This doesn't have a concentration.
Okay, so this will last for 10 minutes. No,
It'll
up to
last-
1 minute. My bad. 1 minute.
Until you decide to drop it.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Okay, so... Alright, red 1 is going to attempt to save. It's a 4. I forgot to put it to normal, so it fails. It is restrained and will take damage.
Did you add the health back to the others?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure. So it failed. So now it takes damage, correct?
Yes, and it is restrained. I'll put a net on it.
10 bludgeoning damage, and it's just, all this is just restrained. So its movement is 0, correct?
Its movement is 0. Any attacks it makes are at disadvantage. It can make an escape on its turn to try to break the restraint. Or just, it's going to die probably if it gets back to its turn, so... Alright, this strange creature now. Elise, you catch this creature's eye as you begin to stand up and move forward as it's looking at you, and it begins to twirl its hands around, and it's going to cast a spell at you.
Crap.
Does a 12 hit you?
Nope. Thank God.
What's your AC? Your AC 13?
Yep.
Okay.
So it does not hit
Alright.
me.
And it's going to move back over here. Alright, this guy is going to attempt to save. 21. Takes no damage. This one, I believe, was one of the ones... This one jumped down, so this one is prone. Put the prone on him.
He needs to make a dex save too, doesn't he?
He did, 21.
Oh, okay.
And he is going to make an attack at you at normal. You bite. An 8, missing again. The tentacles are just too much and it can't seem to go through it. This guy, red 4, he is standing. He is going to attempt a dex save. Missing with a 4. Chris, go ahead and roll damage. Okay, so it is restrained, and it takes... It is almost dead. It will probably die the next turn. So it has disadvantage on attack against you. You are prone, giving it advantage, so this is going to be a claw attack since it's standing at normal. 19.
19 will hit me.
Go ahead and give me a con save as you take 9 points of slashing.
Alright.
Okay, you manage to shake off again. As the unnatural energy that's being given to you by your patron right now seems to be burning off and fending off the worst of whatever poisonous treacle is coming out of these ghouls. Moonlight.
Is the symbol on my chest glowing by chance? I don't know.
It is a pitch black that you cannot see any light whatsoever from it. The only reason you can see through this mass, since you're the center of it, is because of your eyesight. Valeria is still dazed.
Okay, so sensing that Valeria is still looking at the pretty lights and kind of not paying attention, Moonlight will fly over to Valeria's shoulder, grab her sleeve, and pull up and flap its wings and slap her in the face a few times, and then and kind of wake her up. So owl wings are flapping.
Okay.
You wake up to the soft feel of owl wings flapping you in the face.
However, you are still prone. Keep that in mind.
Yep.
I'd say, are you doing like the Jigglypuff double slap?
Yes, that's perfect. That's what I'm doing. That's exactly what I'm doing to Valeria while she's on the ground. And Moonlight is just going to kind of hover there, like right over you, just flapping its wings in your face.
Stop it!
Okay. This brute is going to go 5, 10, and it's going to make a standing jump 20 feet down towards Drummond.
I was avoiding my. Will it be smart enough to avoid the tentacles?
Yeah, this thing is definitely smart enough. Okay, and it's gonna. Oh, whoops! This is the wrong sheet. All right, Drummond, you're incapacitated. However, that does not mean I get advantage on this attack. But it is going to use its momentum to attack you. It's going to reach down and slash at you with a claw. For a crit. It needs to make a dexterity saving throw. And it does make its dex save. It lands in a fucking 3-point superhero stance. As it wrenches its claw out of your chest. However, you are no longer charmed because you took damage. You are coherent, but we gotta roll some damage, and I need a Constitution saving throw from you, please. Okay, so original damage is 15 plus. What is it? 15 plus 25 points of damage, Drummond. And I believe you are successful in your Constitution save, so you have no worries. But that was definitely a very rude awakening. Leomore.
Well, after Zarek goes down, I am going to make my way down after him.
You make it to there, the human traffic is just too much. But you are inside the cave. The smell is horrible.
They didn't have to make con saves to.
Hey, you know what? Just for fun, everybody give me a token con save.
Hey Mark, I completely spaced when I was observing everything. Marshall was really reacting
Shit.
to and he pulled that up.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack.
The only one that didn't throw up.
Hey, Leomorn, the tunnel passageway was lubricated with all the vomit that you just slid down.
So you guys are throwing up in your mouths a little bit, minus Elise. But you guys, like, as soon as you've walked down, you sort of like vomited, and you either spit it out or you swallowed it back in. I leave that up to your imagination. But it is just a horrendous stench down. even Garsha was like,
foul stomach line acid everywhere to add on to what we're smelling.
like
Awesome.
Moonlight threw up. Moonlight threw up a fuzzy bone carcass of a rat. It was
It smells like the bomb of the Owl House in here.
okay, Professor Lovecraft. Are you going to do anything while you're on the ground with that spell act?
I'm gonna look. God damn it. Way that I can only target one creature, and I wanted to target multiple for this spell, but I can't. So I'm going to look at 5 strange. Put my have my finger look like like a finger pistol. Shoot an eldritch blast in his face.
Okay, that's going to be a disadvantage.
Yep, I understand that, but it's still, it's like point blank range.
Ten sadly misses. As it moves to the side quickly, as the Eldritch Blast shoots up over Garshadow's head, hitting the wall, sending down little bits of pebble and stone where the...
I had another idea, but I can't. It would have been a waste of a spell slot.
Okay. Thalion. Technically, you can't be there. I just had everybody standing there, so I had room inside the cavern. There you go. .26 definitely hits. .19 hits.
And then Garshadow will use his reaction to attack since it's on the attack.
Okay. Alright. At the end of your turn?
Yes.
Okay, round 3, Elise.
She is gonna... Oh, they're still up. Alright, she's gonna attack 5. And she is going to hit it with her bow this time.
This is a disadvantage.
Wait, let me turn that on.
Go ahead and toggle disadvantage and roll.
Yep. And then do it again. My bad.
11 sadly misses.
Why is your attack at disadvantage? I don't see anything adjacent to.
Red 5 is prone.
Oh, she's shooting a prone target. I was like looking at Lise going, is she prone? I don't get why she's...
No. I'm shooting something on the ground, apparently.
Gotcha, yeah. Well, there's a lot of tentacles in the way, too.
Yeah.
That's hers. 4, 2 are the only ones... Oh, I accidentally took that one.
Okay, I see.
This
One's
prone. This one's prone and restrained. And then 5 and 6 are prone. Okay, you still have your bonus action. Any movement.
She's definitely gonna move over to here so everybody can.
So you're gonna sort of scramble up onto a rock.
Yeah, that way everybody can kind of come up forward. And yep. Wait. Okay, yeah, she's gonna. That's gonna be it.
Okay, Dalian. Garshadow's turn. Okay.
Shit, it bites Droman.
Oh no!
It definitely, with almost supernatural quickness, uses its shield and kind of bashes Garshadow's forehead down towards the ground, knocking it not knocking him unconscious, but knocking him off balance, exposing the back of the lion's neck. The next attack on it, if it takes it, Garshadow has advantage. Drummond.
I'm gonna go ahead and attack the brute.
Okay.
Drummond out of his days?
Yes, the brute damaged him with a hit.
Okay.
24 definitely hits. That's a lot of damage.
Burst critical.
So if he would have crit with sneak attack, he would have got 22 extra.
Oh, okay.
Who's building pyramids? What are you doing?
you
All right,
had
that's
a-
me. I'm just prepping my next turn. I'll put it
I
on
know
to the
what
side.
Stop casting that spell. I don't.
I love my
don't-
spell.
I'm then gonna cunning action just take a step back.
Okay, sounds good.
When Zirak falls quiet, he's planning something.
Valeria, moonlight has flown
Yeah,
out of your
Xerax
face.
is never quiet.
You're looking now at what seems to be a bunch of starved ghouls encompassed in this black sea urchin-like undulating mass of tentacles. The professor is nowhere in sight. There is a large ghoul to the right that just jumped down, attacked Drummond, as Thalion, Garshadow, and Drummond are slowly trying to whittle this brutish figure down. It is a chaotic scene.
Yes. And then she stands up for half her movement. And then she's going to, I guess, turn undead.
Okay. Alright, that's 30 feet from you, correct? Okay, so he's out of it. Everybody else is, though. So let's take care of the small fry first. Red 1 is going to attempt his wisdom save. Okay, he makes it. Quite firmly. He's like
I'll take it.
Red 2, wisdom save. He fails. He is dead, I think. Yeah, he's dead.
Do they take damage?
He's destroyed.
Dry at 5th level.
Red 4. Red 4 is going to make a save. 12 fails, correct? I think yours is 14.
Because 14 is the thing that they have to beat.
Okay, so 2 and 4 fail. Red 6 fails. And then red 5 fails. So you're looking now as almost simultaneously 4 of these creatures inside the tentacles turn into stark white, and as the tentacles begin to move, they just explode as this shower of salt is now getting spread out everywhere and like covering the tentacles before it moves out, and these guys are dead.
I was about to die too.
Okay. And I have a bonus action. As bonus action, cast spiritual weapon. Pegasus.
These these ghouls are they're sort of a lower life form, a lower tier of ghouls. They're only CR half.
Okay, I figured because they're like starved and emaciated. So I was just double checking. I didn't want you to do something you'd be like later go, oh crap.
Before you cast that and make that attack really quick, well, I need to make wisdom save. He is a sturdier form of undead. He actually has turn defiance, so he's going to have advantage on this. For 19. So he isn't turned, but as you saw him sort of look at you with that sort of anger that only something so evil can give something to a servant of light, you cast your Pegasus, and the Pegasus kicks. The 17 misses, if you want to. Just due to the shield, as it brings its shield up just in time.
Okay.
I thought you said he has a... Or is that only for Garshadow that has advantage?
Yes, the ghoul has advantage on Garshadow.
Okay. Never mind. I thought it was the... For some reason I was thinking... It was the... I don't know. Sorry.
This dude's dead. Zirak, it is your turn. Valeria just fucked your play.
Yeah, she did, but that's okay. I did say that she could come down and like obliterate all these things. So I'm happy that she did that. But yeah, you stole my thunder. That's okay. I'm gonna stand up and kind of move out of the way a bit to let other people get some space. trying to steer clear of the tentacles that are sprouting up out of the ground that are now like 2 feet away from me, and I'm kind of weirded out by them.
It's that scene in the movies to where like you see one shoot out towards you, and you have to like matrix back.
Yeah, that's freaky. So as I'm kind of keeping an eye on that, I will turn to this ghoul brute and try my new updated ultra power firebolt that is 5th level powered at it.
You said the brute, correct?
Yeah, I'm gonna attack the brute next to Garshadow.
Okay, sounds good. Oh yeah.
Damn, that's almost a crit. So close. For 9 points of fire damage.
Okay. It is this guy's last time. He's gonna try to make his save.
He takes damage. He's restrained. He takes auto damage.
Oh, that's right. He is restrained. He dies. Poor bastards. Never.
He didn't really have a chance. He was on the ground just getting bludgeoned by these tentacles.
It's oh man, it just like had him up in the air and was just bashing him against the stone wall until he just exploded like a.
It's a free action to drop the spell, right? So
if you want to drop it, you can certainly drop it.
As I don't see any others around caught up. This guy ran away, so I don't see him. So yeah, I'm going to drop the spell.
So, can we call that turn undead kill move the Thanos snap?
That's not bad.
Because so far, both times that she's used it, she's vaporized anything undead near her.
With the exception of a few that's resistant.
I need everybody to give me another charisma saving throw.
No.
What?
Oh, goody, goody.
No.
Thalion and Leomorn, you guys have advantage on this. As like this pops up. We'll say this pops up in the middle of the room.
Please.
Oh, that!
Yes!
Dang
My
it.
music again.
I failed mine.
Lovecraft, you are incapacitated. Drummond, you are
Sorry,
incapacitated.
ignore that. I had my disadvantage on. Ignore that first one. I'm sorry. Nice to find.
Wait. You, shit.
Moonlight is incapacitated. Garshadow just saves. Elise is incapacitated. Okay, go ahead and roll a d20.
Burn all your cooldowns, man!
/ roll d20. Okay, you make your pass. So Elise, Moonlight, and Drummond, you guys are incapacitated. Thalion, you just made the save. And he sort of casts a spell and he looks as he only got a couple of you. And you're going to watch him sort of like grimace. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. That's going to be the end of his turn there.
As I finally see this guy on his spell, just realize someone took out the caster.
Moonlight.
Oh.
You watch as Moonlight viciously
can't take
attacks.
actions or reactions, but he can move a little bit. So he's just gonna stupidly kind of waddle like a penguin over to the corner here.
Is he gonna waddle in circles?
Sorry, I wanted to put him right here, but I can't do that because he'll go to the left corner behind the rock. So just imagine he's next to Elise. So, well, you can move into his space. It doesn't matter. He can be there. He's just gonna waddle over there, staring at the lights.
No worries. It's the funniest fucking image.
Those are the prettiest glowworms I've seen.
Do I get a save at the end of my turn or at the beginning?
It would be... Oh, you get a save at the beginning of your turn. No, at the end of your turn. You use your action to make the...
Oh. But you can't take... No, because you can't take actions or reactions while you're incapacitated. So I think it probably just reads...
So make it at the end of your turn.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll give you a charisma save just to see if I snap out of my stupor.
That poor owl. I think he's way more charismatic than a -2, if you ask me. But that's just...
Well, an owl has a charisma of 7, but yeah, that's the way it goes.
Makes no sense. Makes no sense. He's a pretty...
My
dapper
intelligence is 2, so when you ask me for an intelligence check, the poor guy is like, doesn't know anything.
There's a mouse over there. The ghoul brute hears the footsteps of the other one sort of run past, and he kind of snarls. He's going to make his first attack at advantage on Garshadow.
No, not Garshadow.
For a crit.
Oh god.
Just got him
Garshadow
back.
takes 15 plus 6, so 21 points of damage. I need a con save from Garshadow. Okay, thank you. Garshadow is now paralyzed for 1 minute, and he's going to make a backswing with his claws in like a very Killua straight, and he's going to try to bring it across to your throat, Thalion, as you're strained. This one's at normal.
Kill.
Missing with an 8 as you deftly dodge out of the way. Yeah, he's got nowhere he can go, so... Otherwise he's gonna risk, like... In difficult terrain? Yeah, he's fucked. That's the end of his turn. Leomorn.
Alright. I'm going to... Because I could hear Thalion yell about the spellcaster.
You heard him yell out, and you watched as a figure ran across here. Where you're currently at, you cannot see him. This area is 20 feet up in the air. So you have an angle disadvantage from where you're currently at.
Lost. Let's see, I would get the spellcaster if I could, but... Actually, could I?
Everybody's been stupefied.
Alright, so I am going to run over to this side and see. I'm having to choose between the caster and the brute. The brute seems to be the more pressing matter, so I am going to clasp my. So I'm gonna have Leo clasp my hands together and stretch out a bolt of lightning, and I am going to cast Witch Bolt at the brute.
Okay. $17 sadly just misses. Leomorn, roll a D100. No, I'm just joking.
Damn it!
It does sail over the head just a little bit. As you're trying to sort of make sure that you don't hit anybody in your way. But yeah, you just missed it. AC is 18.
It has a shield, right? So I see
have a
it
shield.
like being like a Mace Windu. It has a shield up.
Let's see here. I don't see us on a net, by the way. Oh, you can't see yourself either?
I only
No, I only see Lovecraft, the Ghast, and the Ghoul.
Oh, sorry. Alright, well, I haven't been fucking with you guys, so like these are your rolls.
No, I
It's
believe you.
fine,
I
it's
just
fine.
didn't know if you wanted to know that we couldn't see us on a net.
Okay. Lovecraft, it is your.
I cannot see from here, right?
From
the
there,
gap.
you cannot see him.
Using half my movement. So that's 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm going to double move.
Definitely see him. Oh, you double moved.
Don't see him from here though, right? Because he's over.
You're underneath right now. You're underneath it, but if you step out to here to the edge, like right there, you can see him at the angle because he's hugging this far wall.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Oh, that's so 5, 10, 15.
That's
okay.
15 feet to where you are. You can see him without any sort of cover now.
Sweet baby Jesus. That changes up everything. I am going to. That's not what I wanted. Is that a range for me? I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast at him. Fuck me.
Okay. So you shoot, and in your sort of anger at kind of what you've been put through, you put a lot of force into it. It does hit, but just below him, kind of shattering the stone a little bit. I was going to say give me a deck save so you don't fall into the cavern, but that would have been me. Do you have any bonus actions you can do?
All my spells are actions. I have no bonus action stuff.
Okay. Thalion.
Would have fell into the cavern and died.
Okay.
Can I expend that inspiration?
Should say that before, but yes, you can.
God, I keep forgetting I used it once. I'll use it next time. My lucky feat again.
Okay, sadly, the 11 misses again. He's sort of becoming frenzied right now, seeing that his companion has kind of left him high and dry, and their thralls are kind of... Well, their thralls are dead. So...
So I hit with the bonus.
Okay.
That is my turn.
Elise.
She's still hypnotized by the lights, right?
Yes, I need a charisma saving throw. Okay, so you blink out of it. You are no longer incapacitated, and you're sort of blinking out the sunspots that these weird lights have kind of put in front of your eyes. And you're looking now, and you can't see where that thing went.
Oh, I can't see anything right now.
Yeah, you do. I mean, that was the end of your turn, so technically your turn is over.
Yep.
Garsha, I need a Constitution save, please.
So just a con save?
Just a con save. He has to repeat the con save. Okay, he manages to break the paralysis. However, his turn is done. Drummond. Finish him. Okay, you managed to break the incapacitation. Your turn is done. Valeria. Carla, you there?
Yes.
5, 10, 15. She's gonna use Ariana's Rose on him.
Holy
Holy shit.
That definitely hits. So go ahead and let's roll your damage once.
Okay, and I could use a charge. So roll 2d8. Right?
Okay, so hold on.
For
It's going to take 7 plus. So that's what? 12. Go ahead and you're going to expend a charge. So go ahead and roll 1d8. Is it a d8 piercing damage?
Let me look at the thing. I think.
Am I doing that right? I'm not doing that right. It is, so 7 plus 5 is 12, plus 8 is 20.
Was 2d8, yeah. 2d8. Oh.
Hold on a second. She doesn't have smite if that's what you're thinking about, Ken.
No, but I thought if she burned a charge or whatever, it does the extra D8.
Let me look at the
right?
shield.
I need to look at it again. I can't remember.
Rose, not shield.
So it would work like a smite in that when you
2d6,
crit.
yeah.
Oh, 2d6.
Okay, so it would be 12 plus 8 plus 5. So 25 plus 1d8 plus 2d6.
D6, okay. 6.
And then roll another d8. Wait, what's the 2d6? Plus what's the d8?
It's the piercing damage it can do if I use a charge.
Right. So no, the 2d6 is the piercing, correct?
Yeah.
And then what's the extra d8, Ken?
Isn't that the regular weapon attack?
No, her weapon is a mace. So it does
it's a
1d6. Yeah, 1d6 plus 1.
Gotcha.
Just roll d6.
So yes.
Whoa.
So if she rolls a d6 and she adds 2d6 extra, so that would be 18 plus whatever her mods are, right? So it's 1, so 19 plus 3d6.
19 plus 7, which is 26.
Right, and awesome. Fuck yeah.
Carla, finish this thing off with your spiritual weapon because it has 1 health point.
Okay.
Horse trample it.
Exactly. It's done enough damage, and now it's time to end its life.
You have to hit it first. That's the thing.
I know. I'm doing
I
it.
have faith. She's gonna hit it. Yes.
18 just hit.
Force damage.
So the mace twirls in, cracks him in the sternum, and you watch as thorns erupt, cracking the undead ribs and skin. As it lurches over in pain, the horse rears up, snaps its back legs, and just explodes the head on this thing as it sort of shambles to the ground.
So I guess I could travel more if I want to.
Yep, still have your move.
20, 25, 30? Right there. And that's right.
Difficult terrain to get over the body.
Probably.
So 10 feet to move for that.
No, there's no body there. She disintegrated that one.
Yeah, I did.
Was that the one that got disintegrated?
I think a majority of them got.
All of them but
They're
one.
disintegrated.
Oh, this one up top. That was the last
3
one.
was killed by Drummond, and 1 was killed by the tentacles. And everybody else...
The rest
was
were
Everybody
ash.
else is salt. That's right. Oh, I
Yeah,
wish I
I
would have
should
remembered
bring-
that. Then I could have ran. Blast!
She's right there. That ends her turn there.
Damn, my terrible memory. Okay. Good turn. Zirak. Zirak, it is your turn.
Excellent. I was hoping that's what you were going to say. After watching Valeria just literally brain that fucking brute with her mace and stab it in the or kick it in the face with her unicorn, I'm kind of in awe a little bit. But I did hear Thalion call out to not let that other ghast get away. So I'm going to take a step to there. Can I see it from here?
You could see it from where you were earlier.
Okay, I get a little clearer view as I step over, kind of crunching on the bones a bit. I'm going to hold up my hand and say, that's quite far enough in magical words.
He is going to use a reaction, and he's going to counterspell it.
Oh shit! You counter.
Well, I didn't cast a higher than 3rd level spell, so I am going to also use my reaction to counterspell his counterspell.
You do that?
Yes, you can.
It is instant.
Legitimately was asking. I literally did not know you can do that.
Yes, you can. It uses my reaction to as soon as I see him.
So does that interrupt your hold person?
No. It works from back to front now. So the counterspell counterspells his counterspell and allows unless he can. No, his reaction is spent. He can't
He only has one
counterspell
reaction.
me. Yeah, so I essentially out counterspelled him.
I never knew you could do that.
I'm sorry, Mr. Ghoul, but I am the motherfucking smartest man in the world, and my spell will happen.
Okay, this is a wisdom save.
We're playing
It is a wisdom save, or he is paralyzed.
He's not very wise, so he might stop what he's doing. 10. He stopped.
That is a fail. So paralyzation means he's incapacitated and he grants advantage and he can't move. It's got a lot of effects.
Okay.
And I am just kind of holding my hand in the air with my other hand kind of making like a stop. My hand is up like because I counterspelled his counterspell. Said, no, you will stop where you're moving. And he is paralyzed.
Okay, it's his turn, and so at the end of his turn, he can make another save.
Target can make another at the end of each
of its turns. All right, it's going to try to make another save before you guys murderize it.
It breaks 3 now.
Don't jinx.
Ooh,
No, I'm sorry. At this level,
Still paralyzed?
my DC went up to 16, so you need to get a 16 or better to beat my spells for Zera. So he is going to stay there. But Mark, you did make me burn 2 spell slots when I intended to only burn 1, so thank you for that.
It is Moonlight's turn.
Moonlight is still dazed, isn't he?
Yep. Poor guy.
He's just gonna sit there and waddle like a penguin and stare at the pretty lights.
Leia Morn.
I just had to say, can I just picture like the Alec the Mini just walking around be-doo, be-doo, be-doo?
Yeah, that's so funny. Yes, I am pulling a broken BB-8. That's what I'm doing.
Okay, I don't know if I can do this. Could I actually use Misty Step to get right next to him up there?
Yes.
Alright, so I am going to...
Put him off the edge.
I got something planned for him. I am going to look over at the others as mist starts to form, and I'll point up to where he's at, and I will Misty Step up to here.
Okay, Leia Morn, give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, because of the smell. I forgot about gas. They have that.
Okay, you are currently retching your brains out.
Oh no.
You are considered paralyzed. You have, let's see, you have disadvantage on all saving throws against spells cast. Yeah, you're...
only when they start their turn?
No, this is whenever he... Hideous up here. You guys were down there, so he entered into that aura, and he's cool.
I'm breaking it out. Mistakes were made. Mistakes
Guys,
were
I
made.
have this. It's pretty bad. Pretty bad. All right, Lamorn. I think that's the end of your turn.
Damn it. But
Lovecraft.
I'm going to cast another Eldritch Blast at him. Do
At
not
advantage.
say anything yet.
You have advantage.
Because he's paralyzed, a whole person, I have advantage.
Yes. And
Lovecraft, how far are you gonna go? I don't even see you on the map. On the.
I believe.
he's
I
there.
believe hold person. Yeah, it doesn't matter if he takes damage either, so you're good to go. $22 definitely hits.
That saves me from using another luck point. Oh my goddamn it! 3.
3 points of force. Okay. Stallion, it is your turn.
I can't see him from there, right?
You can see him from there. I have to ask you though. When you stopped for the day and were looking for druidic marks, did you bother to bring your longbow with you, or did you just have your glaive? You do see that further down this sort of gravelly slope is the professor who just finished casting a bolt this way, and you're looking to either side at a pitch black crevasse that seems to go on for forever. Give me a second.
You lob it and hit Leomorm in the head.
Oh god.
Oh, this doesn't feel like a la la la.
And you're on fire.
I'm gonna pull the sheet really quick just to make sure that is within 30 feet.
60, so if you throw it, you have disadvantage.
That's why I did the kill.
What smells like hamburger?
You said it's 60?
It's 20 to 60 feet. If you throw it past 20 feet, it has disadvantage.
Wouldn't he have advantage because he's the gas is held, so it'll be a normal throw?
Yeah, but I think you have to throw the alchemist fire at an area, don't you?
Alchemist fire is on a single point.
But doesn't it spread?
It does, I think.
Not alchemist fire does not. I used it on Tool Annihilation. I set Ken on fire.
Sticky adhesive fluid ignites when exposed to air as an action. You can throw the flask, shattering it on. Yeah, go for it. He is, so you do roll. $13 just misses him.
You lowball it.
Give me a D2.
Oh shit.
No.
The coin.
Okay. Luckily, with a 1, you managed to throw it, and the side of the wall ignites in fire.
And I take a step back since I know he can cast spells.
Okay. Round 5.
He can't cast spells while he's paralyzed there, Thalion, just FYI.
Marcy, you there?
Okay, so it is my turn. Alright, so she's gonna move. E.
And if you hit him while you're 5 feet away from him, it's automatically a crit, Doug. So, yeah, that would have been fun.
The only spellcaster that I can think that can.
She's gonna Vicious Mockery the green dude that's by Leomorn.
Okay. I believe he can still make this save at least. Even though he's paralyzed. Yep. Okay. 5, he fails. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Yep. I have psychic damage. And he had disadvantage on his next turn.
I just had to spend a turn retching.
And she's going to toss a Bardic Inspiration at Lemon and tell him, go get him, Lemon.
Okay.
Don't lie.
Garsh.
Our shadow is going to run up to Thalion.
Okay. Drummond.
I'm just checking the range of my dagger. And then we'll throw a dagger at the weave guy.
Okay, throw it with advantage, but he's going to have 3/4 cover just because of the wall of the upper top here. Doesn't matter.
Damn.
I think he's dead. Okay, so 7 plus 4 is 11 plus 36, which is what, 43?
No, it would be 18 plus 3d6. He does 3d6 damage on a crit.
Oh, okay,
He would do-
okay.
Yeah, so it'd be 18 plus whatever he rolled. Plus
So,
13, I
okay,
guess.
18 plus 7,
So
Plus
25.
plus the 13 that he rolled when he rolled for his crit. Because he'll do 8. Yeah.
25 plus 4, 29 plus 13, 42? Is that 42 damage?
4 is 29. Yeah, that's 40 fucking 2 points of damage. With the dagger.
This fucker's almost dead. You hit him in the spinal cord.
You planted that dagger really well there, Droman. Good job.
Oh yeah. You hit me hard, I hit you hard back. I'll stay there though.
Holy shit, that was insane. Valeria, go ahead with your mace.
I'm gonna move my spiritual weapon, like my.
It'll be 10 feet floating in the air. It can't make it all the way 20 feet up.
That's fine. I'll just leave that there for now. And go 5, 15, 20,
Ooh, not there.
25.
Fall.
Oh,
Hey, 20 feet there. Because that's the abyss.
so I still have 10 more movement to go?
You still have 10 feet of movement, or you can just
Yeah.
fuck this guy up with Sacred Flame.
guess I'll just use Sacred Flame.
Go ahead and roll
He
it.
automatically
He
failed.
takes all of it.
I would, but I don't think I'm gonna get the chance to.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get the chance to. This guy's gonna be toast before I can do anything.
Drummond and Valyria are not fucking around.
God, I wish I had
this with the lights all the time. So
I wish I had a spell
like
that
charged
pushed.
up.
Okay, Zirak.
Oh! Okay. Maybe Mark will throw it in there for flavor, but just for fun, I am going to raise one of these skulls, the heaviest looking one, off the ground with just my hand, and without a word, I'm just going to point at the ghoul's head and throw a skull at its face.
If you hit me, I swear.
I can't hit you. It's a dex save, which he automatically fails.
Go ahead and roll damage.
At least a dex. The dex said you think it would be an attack roll.
No, because you have to dodge this incoming thing.
That's why I did this. And Mark, just
21.
for the fuck of it, I cast it at 3rd level, so it does 29 points of bludgeoning damage as I hit him as hard as I can with the skull flying at like near light speed.
Leomorn, as you
Yes.
retch, at this point right now you're retching bile, as you already sort of threw up when you entered and there's not much left in your stomach. And it's a terrible taste in your mouth, and you sort of lean up for more air, and as you lean up, this giant bear skull flies, and you hear a dull thunk and a wet slap, and you look over, and where this ghast was standing on its shoulder now is just a bloody bear skull, and you begin to throw up more again.
Zarak chuckles a little bit as
Leomorn, you're starting to watch the body kind of... No, it can't move, can it? Even on its own accord if it's dead. It's just...
no, it's just dead. Yeah, it's.
Okay.
I mean, I could drop concentration on the paralyzation if it's dead, and then it can move.
Okay, it is dead.
Okay, I'll let it twitch.
Okay, Leomorn, you're starting to watch this body lean towards the edge of the abyss.
Okay, I think just to finish it off, just for the hell of it, an insult to injury, I'm gonna snap my finger to do shocking grass and just shove him off.
Oh my
Okay,
god.
well, then, give me a con save.
Please.
Okay, you fail. You're still puking. I was gonna let you reach out and grab him, but the body falls into the abyss.
God damn it.
Oh, I got the perfect sound, even though it really can't make it.
I was hoping it would be that.
So the gas name was Wilhelm.
Yep. And
I
he,
do believe I saw a name tag on there.
I hope he wasn't wearing anything valuable on his person, but yeah,
He's just spiraling off into nowhere.
bye bye.
I'm probably like after barfing, I'm just gonna sit down and then just fall on my back. Just.
Get him!
Yeah,
So
actually,
the smell starts to
I go grab
away.
Moonlight and kind of pick him up and shake him a little bit.
I'm going to heal Garshadow and remind the group of our time in the Goblin Tunnels and take a piece of cloth and wrap it around my nose and mouth.
You go further?
I will follow Thalian's lead and place a cloth around my nose and mouth as well.
Man, you guys fucking destroyed that thing.
Am I able to find any of the 2 daggers that I threw during the fight?
Except for the one on the gas.
Uh-oh, you lost the dagger.
The dagger on the ghast is gone.
That's okay. I've still got 2 more with me.
Okay.
Do we want to take a short rest, guys?
Mark, do I see these bodies from here?
You see... Oh, no, you don't. That's up the ramp further.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify.
Are
you okay, Leomorn?
Can I retrieve the dagger that I threw, like, at the start of combat?
Oh yeah, it's laying on the ground, right in the base of this thing's skull.
Yeah, I'm just on the ground right now. Just.
Are you all quite all right down there?
Now that your senses are kind of coming down from the adrenaline rush, you guys are noticing just how large this small little cave cavern is, and you can hear the sound carrying. Those of you that are closer to the precipice, Lovecraft, you sort of look down, and even with your vision, you can't even see down and through that.
Does anyone have something to eat? I'm now very starving.
You want to eat inside here? It's disgusting.
I've already just threw out everything I've had in the last few days.
All the more so, you should probably wait till we get back to the wagon to eat. That way you can breathe some fresh air and not puke up your food again.
As you guys make your way through, as you guys kind of walk the cavern and kind of look, you're looking at hundreds and hundreds of animal bones, humanoid bones. You see large orcish skeletons, small goblin skeletons, all amassed in these small little piles of gore and bleached bones. All the bones and ribs themselves have been sort of cracked open, which you could probably imagine was them trying to get to the marrow inside. But it's definitely wasn't a fun time in here.
Yeah, I think anyone that's like following near me, I'm gonna use dancing lights to illuminate the area a bit better.
Was there anything on the brute?
You look at the brute, and he's carrying a sort of really worn-looking, what do you call it? It's a really worn-looking shield buckler, wooden, and you can see the rusted iron along the banding. A very discolored scale mail that seems to be dimmed with grime. Go ahead and give me an investigation check. You immediately notice on his persons, you didn't notice over this sort of large, worn coat that it had over this scale mail. But as you peel back the coat, you notice that there's a tabard that's been sort of cut, and the pieces have kind of curled up. And as you roll them over and kind of connect the picture, you see the symbol of the Vigil. The soldiers that guard the shield keeps in this area.
I start looking more around the pockets just to make sure I don't see any notes or anything that might disturb me.
You find an old pouch of moldy tobacco, a broken pipe. You see some rusted daggers on what looks to be a sword belt, but the sword itself is gone. There's no other weapon that it had, but you saw that it was using its hands with pretty depth ability. And no coin pouch, no sort of jewelry. It looks like whatever took this thing and maybe turned it into this thing, there's not much of its human self left other than the raggedy armor.
So as I go through here now, I'm kind of... If I see any corpses that still look somewhat together or anything, I want to check to see if they have signs of being one of the Vigil or anyone.
All these bones, all these ones down here are just bones and old, like, fruit, leather, blood, just coagulated on the ground mixed with the dirt. Professor, where you're at, you find that there are some fresh bodies that look like they were in the middle of being eaten. This up here seems to be the grade A prime beef section of the supermarket.
Alright. I want to, through the bodies, maybe find something maybe interesting on them. Maybe find out who they are. I'm gonna search the bodies.
Okay, give me an investigation check.
And I will call out. I found some fresher body, and I call it to the group. I found some fresher bodies up here.
Mark, while they're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and crawl out and wait at the top, outside, and kind of guard the hole. Because I don't want to be down there smelling that. You know.
You crawl up and you take sweet, sweet, deep breaths of fresh air.
Yes. I am.
The fire at the camp is sort of sputtering out as the rain is just sort of pelting the wood a little bit. The horses kind of look up as you come, and then they look back down and they're feeding. Everything up top looks pretty normal.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and restoke the fire and just kind of keep watch up above while they're digging through corpses. That just didn't seem like something Zarak would want to do. So I'll just hang out in the rain.
Would there be a way to tell how deep this hole is?
I was gonna ask, like, if I send an orb from dancing lights down there, do I see how far it goes down, or does it just disappear?
What's the range on dancing lights? Like 120 feet?
I believe so. Let me see real quick. Yeah, 120 feet.
So you pop an orb, and then you send it down, and you watch it kind of descend and descend and descend before it winks out, and you lose it.
Oh, well, that's one thing to be sudden. It's past 120 feet.
Rowan, what would you like to do?
Well, the light idea was probably the best idea. I would probably kick a rock or whatever and wait and try and hear it hit.
You kick a rock. And you hear no sound.
Too bad. I could have got down there if it was closer. Or if we even knew there was...
Okay, Mark. Don't give a result or anything yet. I'm gonna use. Oh, never mind then. I was gonna use my luck, but I don't need to.
Two of them look like travelers, as you see here. This one seems to be a woman, wearing what seems to be a sort of faded, but still kind of lovely, dark purple dress. You see another woman here, younger in age, looked at one point to be maybe a carriage driver, as he's sort of wearing the long brown coat, simple hat, and then here what seems to be just a regular common person. Go ahead and roll me 3d12.
Would it be safe if I use like prestidigitation on first myself, then German and Elise, just to like clean ourselves up a bit?
Yeah, you can definitely try to clean yourself off. I mean, even if you try to perfume it, it's going to be that weird like spraying Febreze in a toilet after you took a really bad dump. It just still smells bad, but that's kind of what you're going with.
I need another bottle.
Very interesting, Professor. As you first go through this woman here wearing a dress, really no pockets, however you do find a small spool of what seems to be very thin golden thread, and an upper pocket of what seems to be a half torn out shawl / sweatshirt. And you see that on the thread, on a silver bobbin, that there's jewels going around it. You go over to the next person and you kind of have to go through the gore. You find a pouch holding some gold coins. You look, and on her her belt pocket, there is a small vial of what looks to be rose-colored syrup. And then there's a sheet of paper on a back pocket of this. It's like a reverse fanny pack, but it's on her back as she's kind of laying on it. You open it up, and you see a sheet of pink paper. You put it to your nose, and it actually has an aroma of what seems to be like flowers or perfume. And you sort of open it up, and you see that it is scrawled with small, tiny, looping penmanship. And you sort of give it a cursory glance, and you know that it is in Draconic. And it seems to be a spell of some sort.
I speak Draconic.
Yes, you know that it's a spell of some sort, but you have to fully read.
Oh, okay.
You have to give me an Arcana check after you read it to identify. Unless you want to give it to somebody to identify.
Well, after I gather everything up, I was gonna say, I found all these. Let's head back up, and we can discern what these are.
While he's checking these bodies, since they still have some clothing on them and everything, the main thing Dalian is going to try and discern is just to make sure that Sibylla is not one of them.
You definitely don't see her trademark red hair or anything that would resemble Sibylla at any moment there. The last thing you find, Professor, is underneath the body of this person that seems to be just a commoner. It's a burlap sack. And as you open it up, you see that there seems to be some sort of religious paraphernalia inside. You find a stoppered clay bottle, a silver ring with what seems to be a golden symbol on top. And underneath all that stuff, at the very bottom, are some stained gold and white vestments.
Can you put that in chat for me, please? I was trying to type it all up.
That's fine. I'll add that all later. I'll send it to you.
Okay. So I will, being respectful, I will still grab all the treasure that I find.
Rest in peace. Can do that. Rest in peace.
You don't need it. You don't need it. You don't need it.
And I will respectfully position their bodies so they are facing west.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll head back up with Gar Shadow, now a little bit worried after seeing the vigil vest on one of the girls.
Say that again, Doug.
Now he's gonna head up top now that he knows that Sibylla's not among them or Zanzeri, but he's a little worried seeing that vest of the vigil on the ghouls.
Okay, easy enough. You guys make it back up top. Zirak managed to get the fire back up while keeping an eye over where you guys were at the hole. Everything seems to be A-okay up top here.
There's never been more of a happier time for rain right now.
Fresh, clean air. How I've missed you so.
I found some items of interest in the cave. Can you perhaps help me try to discern what these are? One of them seems to be some sort of spell scroll, but I don't know what spell. And Master Leonor, I found this vial of this potion. You seem to be the alchemist. Can you discern what this is?
Yeah, I could probably take a look at it, and I'll examine it if it's in his hand.
Okay. So what do? You take it from him and what?
I'm gonna hold it up and just with the bare eye, just try to examine it at first.
In the darkness, this far away from the fire, it's kind of a mute gray color. You really can't see.
Let's get into the light.
Yeah, that's
So
probably
the light you see inside is a very rosy red color to it.
Interesting. Where was this from?
I found it on one of the carcass, the bodies that the ghouls were snatching on.
Interesting. And
So was the potion with the scroll?
The potion was on this potion and the scroll were on the same person.
Okay, so I'm assuming but what I'm saying were the two items, like was the scroll wrapped around the potion?
No, the scroll was in a back fanny pack, like leather fanny pack that it was laying on. The scroll case it was in managed to keep it from getting unharmed. And then you found the small red bottle in a smaller leather satchel pocket on the same sort of fanny pack. On her Batman belt.
On her utility belt.
Well, I don't think I can do it right now since it's kind of rough. But I'm pretty sure if I had enough time and the space, I could probably try to identify this.
Yes, I just found these things, and I think we should figure out what they do and who might give yes for them.
Okay, sounds good.
Ken, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah. I found this some items of interest. One of them seems to be a spell scroll, but however, I do not know what spell it casts. Perhaps you can discern.
I can't move the owl off of me. Yes, I can certainly identify the spell scroll. I will take the 10 minutes necessary to do so. As I revel in the tankiness of my fucking wizard right now with 43 hit points.
So that keeps stacking and stacking?
Yeah, basically the way I'm reading it is it doesn't have a max HP amount. So if I cast an abjuration spell, I gain twice the level of that spell and points to the ward. It always starts with the same amount each day. But, I mean, I could cast 6 alarms as a ritual during a short rest and add 12 more hit points to it.
Is that like 10 hit points?
They're ward hit points. They just keep... I mean, I'm not going to abuse it that way, but... I don't know. It doesn't say... The actual description in the player's handbook doesn't say it has a max hit point amount.
That's like other wizard class.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could technically... I don't know. I'm tempted to rule that it should say... I mean, if it was me as DM, I would say the ward should have a max hit points equal to twice your wizard level plus your intelligence mod. Otherwise, you would have a wizard just casting alarm as a ritual during a short rest 6 times and adding 12 hit points to their ward every short rest they take. You could have a second level abjuration wizard with a fucking 100 hit point ward if they just took short rests all day long.
Well, Ken, you are correct. I just googled it, and it even says it's covered in Sage of Ice. You can keep stacking it.
What, I'm misinterpreting what you said. I can keep adding hit points to it, or cannot.
According to that link, you can keep stacking. There is no limit. It's even covered in Sage.
No, that says how you add points to it. It doesn't say that you can go beyond the maximum. See, this actually specifically says in the wording, the ward has a hit point maximum equal to twice your wizard level plus your int mod. That is in the link you just sent. That specifies a max hit point volume.
So it doesn't stack.
The player's handbook does not say that wording. So unless my player's handbook is old, maybe the PDF I have was corrected. I don't know.
I'll check. I think I have the errata. But, I mean, for now, we're not going to change it.
For now, I'll just leave it at 15. I'm not going to put 21 hit points on my ward. That seems like it would be way OP.
We're going to say that you guys sort of take a moment to gather yourselves up here and kind of try to eat, although the stench is still kind of there in your nostrils. You guys sort of all make your way to bed. with different things to identify tomorrow, and then I'll just post the stuff in the group chat that you guys have, and I'll just say that way it's there and taken care of. You guys all sleep, and I'll leave it with Chris. The professor falls into a black sleep. The same dream takes him, and as he sort of looks out over the scene, all the lights are out.
Oh, fuck me.
And that's where we're going to pick up next time.
We're screwed.
Wait, say that last part again?
Oh, it's okay. That's really just for Chris.
Oh no.
Usually I would tell him in a whisper, but I figured this would be funny.
Oh yeah, yeah. God, damn, I am scared shitless right now. Honestly, I don't know.
So yeah, thank you guys very much. We'll pick up next time in this wonderful, wonderful country known as the Barrowlands. And
Oh yeah, I love
See
the
what other
populace.
things
Oh yeah, so lovely. Love the smell too. It's fantastic.
And
Right
I'll
on.
bring you guys to my other home.
Also, Tomb of Annihilation, we have a game this Friday.
and I think our next Saturday game is still in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I was going to mention that too, that we don't have a game on Saturday. And sorry, that's my fault. I'm actually, you guys, some of you know him, but it's Nate's birthday. Used to be in our D&D group on Wednesday.
Oh, I met Nate.
So,
He played Artemis with us.
yes, he did. It's his.
I like that guy.
It's cool guy. It's his birthday Saturday, and he invited me. I haven't seen him in like a year, so I'm gonna go chill with him on Saturday.
Tell him I said happy birthday.
I will. I'll tell him everybody says hi. We were talking D&D today, so he'd be excited to know you guys still remember him. I'll tell him. Okay, I will.
Right on, everybody.
My brother, so it'd be in town, so.
Yeah.
All right,
Right on.
everybody have a nice rest of your night. Get some sleep. I'll talk to everybody later. I'll put all the posts up, and then we'll just go from there.
Alrighty.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Bye.
Have a good night.
Uh,